Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Formula Sprint 1 action here on GPVWC's YouTube channel. The 2025 season is well underway now. It is round 3 here at Suzuka in the Mie Prefecture in Japan. My name is Eoin Harmon, and I'm delighted to return back after a week away. It is Alex Hallows. Alex, how you been keeping?
Hello everyone, it's good to be back here for the Japan Grand Prix here at Suzuka International Racing course. I really can't wait for an exciting race on this track, especially not just in F1 Real Life, but here in Formula Sprint 1. Put my personal favourite track as well on the calendar, as I have some nice experiences myself. But yeah, it's great to be back. I did catch up from last round, and yeah, I can't wait to see what happens in round 3.
Yeah, for sure, Alex. Yeah, you definitely got a great race with myself and Amir, and of course Remco is back in the broadcast direction booth to keep our cameras nice and up to date. So just with qualifying just about 30 seconds away, we can definitely reflect on the fact that it was Malta Force again achieving a dominant 1-2 in race 1 that has helped them surge clear in the championship with Pavel Andrzejewski. He got the race 1 victory this time around, so he has a lead of 11 points over his teammate Matthews Micah. The chasing pack are all very tightly compressed, though. Giuseppe Saracino, Mr. Consistent there, picking up another 24 points. That gives him 51. Frank Hamming, again, it's a case where maybe what might have been in Turkey, a few solid top 10s, but not quite what he would have been wanting for. Lucas Tylene, I believe he's absent in this race today. He picked up a whopper 31 points after a podium in race 2 that got him ahead on Yassi Latinen on a tiebreaker. Then Jansen Bintz, Mateusz Gazowski, Oliver Taras, and Patrick Roszak complete our top 10. Yeah, it's definitely really heating up in the championship. If anyone can put a stop to Malta Force, today is the right day to do it, Alex.
Yeah, I'm looking at the standings here and on the website the other day just to catch up what was going on. Malta Force looks very unbeatable so far, but it's only been 2 rounds. There could be still a few changes. Maybe Team Shiba may get some good points. Saracino is doing pretty good up there. If I get the name right, sorry. Decutis, hopefully, we'll be up there soon as well. I don't see him in the top 10. I think, yeah, he's 14th place. But hopefully, there might be some more training in the background to, get to know the track a bit more, better development, better, well, everything. And, hopefully, be a competitor against Malta Force for the constructors. But so far, Malta Force is steaming away at the moment.
Yeah, without a doubt. And yeah, you can see Jansen Bintz there in 7th in the championship. I should definitely remember how he delivered the race 2 victory a fortnight ago in Istanbul. An absolutely wonderful result for Pixelate, as it was their very first win in GPVWC. And of course, Suzuka is a mainstay on our calendar. It's been around for a long time. Looking back on the previous winners, it's certainly elite names that are able to win around here. Last go around, it was Victor Ivanov and Szymon Frelich who were able to pick up the victories for their respective teams, MS Performance and I think Griffon as well. So, and then Jack Mayer's part of his championship win. He won race 1 here in 2023. Maritz Kropp was the race 2 winner. So none of these drivers are on the grid anymore. They've moved on in the ladder in GPVWC. So it's a brand new opportunity, and certainly the opening has to be there for anyone who wants to put Malta Force back in their box, so to speak. They want to do everything they can, but we know the pole position honours have gone Malta Force's way on both occasions, with, of course, Patrick Roszak is able to split them up on the grid 2 weeks ago. And now we have our countdown clock. It's almost ready to begin qualifying, so we're nice and organised. Everyone's just waiting for the 15 minutes to show, and then the green light will appear in pit lane. We have 29 drivers in the serve at the moment, so just one absentee. Might be Zubinski, I think, for Hyperion. I'll make absolutely sure of that in just a moment. So Zabinski's here, but Dabrowski, I beg your pardon. So Dabrowski not on the server just yet, but he could show up later. So now there we have our cars on track. Alex, nice and beautiful sunny day here in Suzuka, so there should be no real complaints about these opportunities for drivers. It really should be quickest driver on pole.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be another dry one. And I'm guessing it was dry last race as well, last round. I know from my experience, apart from I think Super League, it was a little bit wet last round. But yeah, it looks pretty dry today. So hopefully we'll have some clean racing as well after the qualifying. But so far, it looks pretty good, and I don't think anyone's too stressed out, where they're going to be. But it could be anyone's game. With Suzuka's been here for quite a long time, and as well as that Suzuka's been on many other sim racing leagues on R Factor 2. So it could be, like I said, anyone's game on this track, and I really can't wait who's going to be the fastest, and we'll get the upper hand.
Yeah, in our interview segment 2 weeks ago, a lot of drivers that we were able to have a chat with all said Suzuka's a big favourite of theirs, and I certainly echo that sentiment. It is an absolutely fantastic track to drive around and race your competition with. So yeah, we're definitely going to put through a mighty fine showing, I'm sure, with a lot of drivers still fresh. It's still only month 2 of the season. April, with the clocks going forward for ourselves in the GMT time zone, is now BST or IST, if I'm allowed a little bit of ego brushing there. So yeah, now we have our hot laps and Vin Glenn for HGP, who has proven to be an astute signing for Frank Cannon as the driver owner. He's been backing him up very strongly since he joined up with him. So we'll see now how he performs. Yeah, he has definitely provided the extra backing for him. Just very unlucky in Turkey, of course, with the no score after his 4th place in Australia Race 1. So he is really capable, and just if he can keep up the good work, as he goes a little bit wide there, I mean, nothing too worrying out of Degner 2, but certainly the hairpin is a place where if your lap is a bit scruffy, you'll know it by now. So I've got to keep pushing, Alex.
Yeah, I saw that as well, going a little bit wide at that corner. If I'm correct, that was turn 9 as I'm looking on the map. And this is a circuit like any other circuit. You don't want to go wide. You don't want to mess up. Oh, a little bit off there, but I don't think it's going to affect this time. Where you don't want to mess up anywhere, and in the end, it'll be a bit of a slower time, but hopefully, I think in his next lap he'll doesn't want to make that same mistake. But from my experience, the fast turn 8 and then turn 9, slow down for turn 9, it can be very tricky. As we see Vin Glenn going around the final corner and getting a 1:35.4 and is P12 at the moment.
Yeah, so the earliest result there, unless Matthews Micah comes along and takes it away, it is Yassi Latinen for Apex Grand Prix, who has set the benchmark of a 1:34.869, and Micah not pleased with that lap. He doesn't want to even log it in as a banker lap, so he's going to get straight back onto a new set of tires and try again. Giuseppe Saracino was the final driver out on track, so he has the chance to get a big showing here with no one else really on their hot lap at the minute. So he's gone purple in sector 2, showing there is lots of pace here in the Team Sheba. One of our very exciting brand new teams, as we mentioned there, P2 in the Teams Championship, picking up lots of solid results. So Saracino, again, he's displaying that form with his teammate now P3, but Giuseppe himself is 5th. So yeah, Team Sheba are proving very, very strong in their very first month of FS1 competition. And they're definitely putting a lot of our established teams on notice.
Yeah, it's very greatly done by Team Sheba so far, P3 and P5 provisionally at the moment. And I've got to say, in my honest opinion, they've been the top dogs when it comes to a debut season. No pun intended, no pun intended. I really can't wait to see what they can do for the rest of the season. I know we're in the 3rd round already, but they've been showing a lot of potential. And maybe, you know, if they keep going with the hard work, getting these good quality positions, maybe finishing very high in this race and maybe further races, maybe they might have a chance to face off against Multiforce GP, the so far champions from last year's FS1 season. And yeah, it's really exciting. I really like this.
Of course, yeah. No, we had MS Performance last year. They came up as a brand new entity, and they performed remarkably well with Victor Ivanov. You know, he was able to secure a flurry of race 1 wins and pole positions. Alas, it didn't result in the title. That went to Mike Quint. But yeah, it goes to show how quickly things can change for our teams in here in GPVWC, with MS Performance tied for last in the championship, as they haven't been able to grab any points just yet. But I certainly won't rule them out just yet. It could be a chance for them to get their new recruits, Stefano and Van Soest, up and running. They've been very unfortunate at times. I know Van Soest, I think he didn't get to do very many laps at all, or was that, I think, might have been LEF. Might have been a very brief showing. With have a look. Yeah, it was Sven de Vries, I think. Yeah, I beg your pardon. Sven de Vries barely got any racing laps 2 weeks ago after he was so strong in Melbourne. So yeah, it's a case where, yeah, points have been left on the table in round 2 for Lorenzo Eterovic Funcic's team. So yeah, that's another example that things can change even in the 2 weeks where Sven was so good in Australia, and then it all fell apart for him in Turkey. But yeah, with Grafone 100-1 and MS Performance, they all really want to get off the bottom of the championship, and we'll stick on board for a moment here with Latinan, the provisional pole sitter, as we near the 50% mark. So Micah has just taken it away. Matthews Micah gets his proper lap in and takes it by 1/10 of a second, 1:34.7. But yeah, through those magnificent S's goes Latinan, keeping it nice and smooth in 4th, 5th gear sort of territory. And now Dunlop for the Deckers coming up next. Let's see how his split time looks. Should be coming up about now. And it's purple. Oh, got to be careful with that correction there, Alex. That could have gone wrong.
Yeah, nicely saved there by Yassi Latinan. You know, he still has time. There's still 7 minutes left on the clock for qualifying. And only 0.117 seconds off Micah's provisional pole position time as we go around the fast turn 10, going into turn 11. Oh no, I got that wrong. Turn 13, turn 14, sorry. Looking at the wrong corner there. And going into this fast straight, entering sector 3. Is this going to be a purple as well? As we just see as he goes past it any second now. Ah, it's gone. I think it's an orange there, but is he going to try and improve, or is he going to go back into the pit lane as he goes around the final chicane, turns 16, 17 into turn 18, and there's a bit of a slide. I think that's his lap time there. I think done and dusted. Quite unfortunate there for Latinan.
Yeah, there have been big improvements there. Lucas Munro and the pick slide has gone quick. Scott Flack, here he comes, right on cue. He got a purple sector 1. He's green in sector 2. So this would get overpower comfortably in the top 10 as he hugs the inside, and it's P2.
Oh, nicely done.
Scott. Yes,
oh,
that's
brilliant!
More like
brilliant lap. That was a brilliant lap by Scott Flack. In the overpower car. It's good on him. He's a really good driver as well, from my personal standards. When I raced against him in FSR, this is going to be a very, like I said, this is going to be a very entertaining circuit with everyone having past experiences by a very long shot. I don't know how long people have these experiences in this track. It can vary from like maybe a decade. We don't know, but this is exciting already. Very exciting already.
Of course, yeah. I just saw Carl Magnus Bore's car had no left side tires. Potentially an accident there, taking some of his bodywork and tires away from him, but he seems to be all back in order, ready to try again, hopefully. Yeah, all change in the top 10 now. It's a great mixture. Pavel Andrzejewski here under pressure with his teammate on pole, and he's separated by another 4 positions if he wants to join him on the front row. Flack a consistent point scorer. He's got points in all 4 of the events we've ran in our 2 rounds to begin the season. So Pavel needs to get this out lap finished and then straight on the power for a huge lap in potentially his campaign. He doesn't want to lose the championship lead after taking it for himself after round 1. He was more consistent, so he doesn't want to lose this championship lead. After finishing 7th in race 2 in Istanbul, he's got to fight hard after the slight gain back for Matthews. He gained back a few of those points that he would have lost. So yeah, through the S curves now. And yeah, we'll double check that, how he gets on through sector 1 with Tun Lure as well. Let's mention the likes of Tun Lure getting up to P8 and Giuseppe Saracino now down to 10th for Team Sheba. But yeah, purple for Pavel, more what he wants to see. He needs to keep that going. Looked very composed in the Degners. Now for the hairpin, great overtaking spot in the past. I'm sure we'll see more of that in the racing. And heading towards the 60-second mark. Into Spoon coming up in just a moment. Yeah, that's a very long turn 12. It just keeps going and going before you have to get right into the mindset of Spoon curve, double apex. You can certainly go very high if you want to and turn back in. Pavel seems to have performed a nice balance there, sticking nice and smooth in the middle of the circuit. Now towards 130R, one of the all-time great corners. And he's purple again, so Matthews needs to be on high alert here. Get ready for another outlap, just in case. Now, the final chicane, the Casio triangle, small bit of oversteer, but it still looks very strong. Pavel Andrzejewski, championship leader. Is he going to get a pole position?
Yes.
Oh, by 6 thousandths. So marginal, but it's more than enough. And that makes it Multiforce 1 and 2 again. And here's Micah to respond. He will be, must be as dead heat really as he heads through the final corners himself. It's got to be a 134.745. No, he abandons it. But yeah, hard thing to do. He's got time for one last attempt. With cars setting lap times, they want to get into the top 15. Matthew Zubinski and Tomas Smith. We'll check out Smith's perspective for overpower. If Flack can get a P3, I'm sure the team will be raring him to get a top 15. And he just misses out there, P17. So Kasper Michalak and Stephen Lexo hold on to their chance for points. And Vin Glenn, can he improve for HGP? Absolutely he can. And he has pipped his teammate for the inter-team battle honours. And he's just behind Patrick Roshak by about a tenth of a second. But again, as we saw 2 weeks ago, the standard of qualifying is absolutely exceptional. Saracino, purple sector 3. It gets him back into the contention ahead of his teammate there. He's on the second row, Alex, P4.
Nicely done by Saracino. This is the lap we want to see from him, especially if he wants to, be a competition for the World Championship, Drivers' World Championship for FS1. Only just being 33 points off. It's still anyone's game this early, and it's looking very interesting. Team Sheba, 4th and 5th, which I really like to see from this new formed team in FS1, as well as Multiforce, 1 and 2, another like a Mercedes Hamilton Rosberg scenario again, like 2016. And I don't think there's been any progress from Latinen yet. I haven't seen any. Has been any updates recently? I'm not 100% sure. I don't have a time lapse, but.
Could be on an outlap, Alex. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think he seems ready to just try one last throw of the dice. He hasn't, I don't believe, been committing to lap time since he was on provisional pole for that brief moment. But we'll check out Frank Hamming through 130R. Yeah, as soon as you like, 6th gear, 278 kilometers per hour. Now braking hard all the way to 2nd gear through the Casio triangle. He wants to outqualify his teammate. We know. Those race 2 performances are absolutely brilliant from Frank. He just misses out. Really close.
Yeah, he's above his teammate though, above Glenn. So I think Hamming will have a bit of a little pat on the back for that. As we see, Raymond van Zoost in the MS Performance car has a very impressive improvement on Sector 1 as we go into the very fast Turn 12. And Quali's now the check flag's now out. I'm concentrating on many things. Sorry, and now we're going to turn 13, turn 14. Nicely executed there by Raymond, going into the nice easy straight, entering into sector 3. Is there going to be a slight improvement on this time as we go into turn 15? Yes, there is. A very impressive time, just under half a second, as we go into the final chicane, 16, 17, and then a nice. Got to be a little careful around here into turn 18 that's coming up. Is this going to be a really good, impressive lap time? And it is just about. It was a good, impressive time, but not enough. Had a bit of I think a bit of difficulties in Oh, we got a purple.
Yeah. It's
we have a purple.
Here. Can he hang on through 130R?
I think it might be deleted because I don't see a time on sector 2.
Yeah, that can happen occasionally. Patrick Roshak also purple in sector 2, so it's all changed. The track is definitely at its peak. So yes, Scott will not be able to improve on 3rd position. Lorenzo De Cusin!
Oh!
Wow! Pole position for Team Sheba. And I thought Patrick Roshak would have been more likely with a purple sector 2, but it's an absolutely buttery smooth lap. He wasn't exceptional anywhere in particular, but it's green all the way, and De Cusin has put Micah under the microscope, and he does
Micah's in the pits.
A pole position sweep from Autoforce. What a result for Lorenzo De Cusis in the
dying seconds.
Unreal. 300ths of a second exactly, Alex. Well spotted. But look at that top 5. It's incredible. Less than a 10th of a second separates our top 5.
That is amazing. A nice final minute push from De Cusis, getting that pole position. Amazingly well done for the Team Sheba driver. And I gotta say, this is going to be a very entertaining race 1 coming up very soon. Nicely done by Team Sheba, nicely done by Multiforce GP, and also nicely done by Scott Flack as well in the top 5.
Yeah, without a doubt. So here's our final summary of another outrageously exciting qualifying session in Formula Sprint 1. And it is definitely a turn up for the books with Lorenzo De Cusis keeping Team Sheba on our minds here with a very first pole position for the team. Patrick Roshak, again, so close, but so far for Nexium pole team. He has to start from 2nd. Pavel Andrzejewski and Mateusz Micah side by side on row 2. They probably can't believe their luck, losing their 100% pole position record. Scott Flack, another outstanding performance for him. He was contender for pole, but he just misses out there. P5, he's probably thinking, how on earth am I 5th with that lap time? Team Sheba's joy continues with Giuseppe Saracino in 6th. Yassi Latinen has Apex GP solidly in the top 10 with a 7th. HGP paired up 8th and 9th, Hamming ahead of Vin Glenn. And Lucas Murno, I beg your pardon, I've mispronounced his name. He has P10 for Pixelate. And then Tun Lure, Stephen Lexo, who's subbing in for Lucas Tylene there, P12. Massimiliano Raboli, 13th, ahead of Mateusz Kozowski and Oliver Taras. They complete the top 15, so they will be currently able to claim points if they can hang on to those results. Just outside there, 16th through 20th, we have Wesley Stefano, Kasper Michalak, Mateusz Zubinski, Raymond Van Soest, and Eoin Vilhousvik. Then the remaining 9 drivers, we've Thomas Smith, Carl Magnus Bore, Alex Gonzalez Green, Philip Koenig, Juho Soppinen, Sven de Vries, Tom Lafont, Menno Klant, and down at the back, I'm not sure if they've set times, but Tom Lafont and Marcus Christensen there. I'm not sure if Menno Klant was server at the time. Maybe he just popped in and out, but yeah, should have a nearly full, just one car. I know is definitely missing, but yeah, it was absolutely exceptional, Alex. I cannot believe how good that was.
I'm still speechless from the amazing qualifying session that we just witnessed. That was an amazing final seconds of pure qualifying pace there, and by God, that was amazing from De Cusis in the final dying breaths of at getting that pole position. This is going to be very entertaining. I think Multiforce is going to want to take those positions back as soon as they can. Hopefully, just hopefully, and if they don't rush it in the first opening laps of the race.
Yeah, of course. So just one of those things that our media team have introduced for this season is using the thumbnail photograph as a inspiration to talk about a particular team and their drivers. So this time around, it is Pixelate. They're obviously still celebrating their first win 2 weeks ago, and it was definitely a magnificent performance that we saw with the fact that Janssen Bins got the job done for Pixelate 2 weeks ago. So they're sitting pretty solid in the championship, and with win, it gets them up to 7th, as a matter of fact, with Janssen's victory. Of course, neither of the Pixelate cars have been spotless, as there was a DNF for Janssen in race 1 at Melbourne, and Massimiliano Raboli was unable to join in the celebrations with his own DNF in race 2. It was quite hectic at times with a lot of the battles. But yeah, definitely Pixelate been trying very, very hard. They've had it taken away from them a few times. Results of last gasp heroics from the likes of Tylene. So Tylene not here today after it's their third full season of racing. They've been entered 68 times in total, and with 11 fastest laps and 4 pole positions, they're not quite able to consistently be up there. But yeah, they are. Oh goodness gracious! Crash in the background there. I just saw my replay screen there, so that was a bit of a shocker there. It must have been one of the Team Iris cars. Yeah. Anyway, Alex, I was just gonna finish my point there by saying, yeah, the glory is definitely eluded team, the Pixelate Racing team, for quite a while, despite their recent entry. But yeah, definitely they're a reliable team, and they got their moment at last 2 weeks ago.
Yes, I was watching the race with as soon as I got back 2 weeks ago, and it was really nice to see, if I'm right, Janssen Bint winning the race, and a big old. I did say to him a few days after. Yeah, that was a bit of a nice early birthday present for him. So during the weekend or late weekends, and Pixelate Esports as a whole, a great solid team. Lucas Mono is a great driver who has replaced Janssen Bintz for tonight. Massimiliano Riboli as a driver, and him, also owning Valet Esports is a great manager as well. We raced together in FSR, and personally, he's a really nice guy, and I give him high praise and plus reputation from me from the past few years when I was with him in Valet in FSR. But enough about Valet. This isn't about Valet. This is about Pixelate. Pixelate, yeah, solid team. I really can't wait to see the next chapter of their story this season after their win in Turkey. And I really can't wait to see, Janssen Bintz's return post-win. Yeah, very exciting stuff. Is going to be great.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, I will, of course, hold my hand up and say sorry to Lucas again for mixing up his surname there. It's Murno, not Munro. So, yeah, my mistake. I missed that one. But yeah, I think he was racing here on Tuesday as well for the GPVWC Academy team. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for him to replace Janssen in this one-off opportunity. Maybe more will come from later on down the line. And he was on Tuesday. He was called up to perform alongside, I think it would have been Andrea Ginaglia. So yeah, GPVWC Academy able to give opportunities to drivers in FS2. So yeah, he was able to pick up some points, as a matter of fact. So yeah, really, really well done to him. Yeah, he's an ideal candidate to try and get Pixelate Racing even higher up the standings after the fact that they are currently 7th, so bang in the middle. But yeah, definitely about the target they want to set for themselves at the very least.
Just looking in the comments on our YouTube channel. Hello to everyone who's watching. I just found out why there was no time from Menno. He crashed. I'm just seeing that. And a lot of shocked emojis. Very surprised with the pole position driver the cutest, getting that amazing lap, and you know, everyone is really hyped up for tonight's race one that's just coming up in 4 minutes time.
Yeah, not too long now. And Chris Williamson has just mentioned a few months ago, we do have grid penalties to think about as well, so that could shake up the order quite a bit. So we will definitely note that during our formation lap rundown. As yeah, there's Menno again pushing a bit too hard. Would have been on board there just down the start finish straight, but it went a bit wrong into the first corner. Yeah, he's trying to battle one of the LEFs, and yeah, contact was made there. Just see on my second screen. Yeah, that's unfortunate. You definitely want to avoid that occurring in race conditions. Now, just to actually look at the leaderboard for just a moment. Of course, warm-up laps. Everybody has different priorities and habits that they want to use the warm-up session for. And Carl Magnus Bore, I feel he would have lost a bit of track time after he might have. I think he had a crash as well, Alex. So he needs to use this extra time wisely. And then Scott Flack, he wants to show he's got immense race pace to challenge those 4 drivers in front of him, as he wants to get overpower their opportunity to become the newest winners. After we mentioned Pixelate got to enter the winners hall with Janssen, and then Latinen and Murno nice and quick there, 3rd and 4th. Matthews Micah getting a multi-force up to them to 5th, and a total of 19 times have been, or 20 times, beg your pardon, have been registered, whereas the other drivers are probably just tweaking their setups with about 2 minutes to go now.
Yep, it's. I think they're now just trying to get that consistency in to get prepped for the race. I have found the list of grid place penalties for the next events. I'm very did some a bit of research. Would it be okay for me to say some of those, or just save it for later? We got Thomas Smith having let's just see, 10 slot grid penalty. Raymond Van Soest with 10 slots as well. Zabinski with 30 slot grid penalty for next event, which is this one, and Michalak with 1 slot grid penalty, and Lafont with 5 slot grid penalty, as well as Vin Glenn with a 5 slot grid penalty as well. So this is going to randomize the grid order, and yeah, this is going to be pretty tight. Some are going to go from first to last challenge, and I think they're going to be accepting that. And yeah, it seems everyone's been doing some fairly good times with the race fuel and their tyres. Scott Flack does a practice start at the start-finish line, and I really can't wait to see how Scott Flack does in the first race of tonight's Grand Prix, and you know, hopefully overpower. Look very hopeful for a win. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yes, indeed. And I have been given another correction for pronunciation in the chat. Alex Maggio has said Lorenzo's name is De Chutis, so I've gotten that one wrong ever since I first came across him in pre-season build-up. So, and more apologies out there. So Lorenzo De Chutis. So hopefully that's now firmly corrected for you, Alex. I appreciate the support there in the chat. So yeah, I'll make sure to have that one on my mind for the remainder of the season. So yeah, the Chutis on pole for Team Shiba.
We all learn one day at a time when it comes to pronunciations. It's okay. But thank you, Alex Maggio, for pointing it out for us. And we'll have that remembered late tonight, and of course not just tonight, but for the remainder of the season. But yeah, checker flags out. I think it's going to be time to race in a minute.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, the grid will just be shuffled to their correct positions as those penalties will be applied where necessary. And yeah, so important. The run down to the first 2 corners. You need to have that know-how to make sure that if you've gone a bit too too shallow, for example, that you know that cars on your outside are going to be coming in at a very rapid pace, so you have to adjust where necessary. And of course, yeah, using that runoff, it might be necessary if someone gets 3 wide, for example. Yeah, everybody needs to find their mojo and get into the S's as quick as they can before it really does have the chance to get swallowed up. If you're a bit too slow, you definitely will feel it and cause a bit of a traffic jam through there. And yeah, any other opportunities to poach positions? Yeah, first lap is a very worthy time to do it. And of course, strategy. Tire life should be pretty good around here. Everybody should be clued in, at least from previous experience, about how to drive the right amount of pace and the right amount of conservatism to make sure you can get your tire changes and all done at the ideal time. As definitely strategy played its part in Turkey.
Yeah, everyone's now pitted into their boxes, waiting for I think the minute warning, 30-second warning for the race to start. I really can't wait to see the Japanese Grand Prix. It's nice to be back after a little hiatus from last round. I was bummed to miss it, but I did have commitments that were important, and but yeah, it's great to be back in the commentary box to watch another great race. I still haven't recovered from Australia. I think 4 weeks ago. So it's very exciting to see more amazing action from this amazing grid.
Yes, indeed. There's still lots more to come, but yeah, anyone who has perhaps the glum feeling that it hasn't been a great month to begin the season, yeah, here's a great time to put everything to one side and really go for it. It's going to be very competitive. We've seen it already in qualifying, and definitely the chance to reel in Multiforce has to be the objective for the 14 other teams, and I think the 27 other drivers. Hopefully, 29 in all. So yeah, 27 drivers want to try and get something back against Multiforce, who are bidding to become back-to-back teams champions, and of course defend their drivers' championship with either of their Polish drivers, Pavel and Mateusz Majka. There we go. That should be grid in the correct order for race 1 action, and now they can all begin to spawn in their grid slots.
And I think some of them do have their grid penalties added as well. Glenn down to P14. Sorry, my throat's going then. Glenn going down to P14 from their penalty. I think there's Zabinski P29 from that huge 30 grid penalty. Just looking at the placements of every driver. But I'm not going to get interested into that too much. The tuties, sorry. I wish you good luck with the pole position. It's going to be really hard to defend those MotoGP drivers, especially at the opening lap. It's going to be anyone's game at the first corner. But hopefully everyone will know, the race isn't over after the first lap.
Of course, yeah. It will be a 26 lap feature race. So, yeah, plenty of time. But yeah, you can keep your eyes on the prize and make sure you can get to the checkered flag after those 26 laps. So here we go. Our formation lap is well underway. We will now get to run down the grid order with those penalties in mind. So Lorenzo De Chutis on pole for Team Shiba, with Patrick Roszak again missing out on a pole, but he's kept the Multiforce guys, Andrzejewski and Majka, behind. Scott Flack, an electric 5th place, but he'll be hoping for more. Team Shiba's second driver, Giuseppe Saracino, in 6th. Yasser Latinen and Frank Hamming, 7th and 8th. Lucas Murno and Tun Lohr are at the top 10. Steven Lexo and Massimiliano Roboli, 11th and 12th, with KKR Esports ahead of Pixel 8. Mateusz Gozowski and Vin Glenn, 13th and 14th. So Vin Glenn with the penalty. Oliver Taras starting in 15th, just ahead of MS Performance's Wesley Stefano. 17th through 20th, we've got Kasper Michalak, Eoin Vilhausvik, Carl Magnus Bore, and Alex Gonzalez Green. Now, down to 21st position is Philip Koenig with Juho Soppinen, 22nd there for 01 Esports. Sven de Vries in the other LEF Auto Racing is 23rd. Menno Klont, after a crash in qualifying, is down in 24th. Marcus Christensen up to 25th now after those penalties. We see Raymond van Soest, Thomas Smith, and Tom Lafont down from their qualifying. Matthew Zabinski in the Saw Hyperion is 29th. So hopefully Matthews Dabrowski will be back in the number 46 in 2 weeks' time. Otherwise, Alex, is there any last minute thoughts you want to give before we get going?
To the drivers, good luck. Keep it clean, of course. I know I'm saying it in a admin stupid sort of way, but this is a nice circuit. Treat it with care. It's a very nice historic circuit. I really can't wait to see how this unfolds from start to finish. This is going to be a very wild ride around Suzuka, and this is going to be very, very interesting as everyone in the grid lines up. But yeah, good luck from the front to the back of the grid. Have a great one.
Yeah, my sentiments exactly. So yeah, it's going to take quite a while for everybody to be formed on the grid. At least you have plenty of room for the 29 drivers. They're not up on the sort of curving anymore. Back in the old days, they might have been placed up there with that many cars, but not a problem here. They're nice and evenly matched on the straight with pole sitter De Chutis on the high side, so he's got to try and cut in and defend from Roshak. Let's see how they all get on. 1 light, 2, 3, 4, and finally 5. Let's go racing now. Away they go. Who's got the best lawn? Lorenzo's got it, so he will have Roshak though on his gearbox straight away, but he'll defend. The Motorforce drivers are nice and observant of each other there through turns 1 and 2. We'll see Flack trying to defend, but he's down, potentially position. And it is a gain there for Latinen in the apex. And a battle there. Taras Vilhausvik are actually in the points. Something has happened in midfield. Soppinen has lost position to Klon. Gonzalez Green up a position. Yeah, a fabulous start there for Paul Sitter. And indeed, on the other side of the fence, Eoin Vilhausvik has 100 to 1 in the points.
I did just see a yellow flag just briefly. Glenn has gone down to last place. Saracino having a great start so far, especially De Chutis still ahead of the race. Nearly half a second ahead then, but the gap is slowly closing in. It's still very close for everyone's game from first to last. And I'm just seeing any other drivers maybe have some contention. There is Rozak in the Nexium car, P2, still trying to hold behind the duties. Hopefully hoping for an opening in the coming laps. Maybe soon when... Did I have DRS? No, I don't know.
It's push to pass nowadays, yeah. Push
to pass, hoping to make that push to pass worth it at some desperate corners, if able to. Saracino still behind both Multiforce GP drivers as they go around the final corner, completing the first lap of the race, and it seems everyone has gone very cleanly and it's gone well. Oh, there's a yellow flag in sector 3. Looks like I think Lafont has gone off as he's now all the way at the back and losing a lot of time there. Little outside take from Matthews in P12, but unable to make it stick. Trying to overtake Tunlua in P11. Another yellow flag flared up, but another yellow flag. It seems something is happening in the background. It's still very close with everyone. I'm running out of words here.
Yeah,
everything's a lot is happening.
For sure, yeah. Mateusz Kozłowski pushing hard to try and emulate his teammate. Wants to pass Lure, but it's not happening just yet. The hairpin's probably just a little bit too compacted there. A lot of drivers all in a row, so you can't be risking a dive down the inside there. It's just going to end in tears. Yeah, at the moment, everyone is in a queue. We have our replay queued up for turn 1, lap 1, and that's been Glenn's perspective. I think Yeah, so we'll be side by side.
Oh,
It's the spin into the S curves, into the kitty litter there, I'm afraid. So he just has to U-turn it and try all over again.
looked like a bit of contact there as well. Oh, here's Lafont. Lafont's now DNF'd from the race. See here, going into the final chicane.
Ooh.
Oh, and hits, I think, went into Thomas Smith then. Had a bit of a spin and trying to get back into the race. And Marcus Christensen is another one into the first corner. Oh, lots of fighting here. Going into this corner. Does he lose it here? Oh, he does. He goes very wide and unfortunately loses it at that corner. But very luckily... Oh, there goes Lafont there in the background.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and there's a big crash ahead. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Probably,
oh, wow.
Stefano. Oh, and they all lock wheels there, and Soppinen gets worse for 0-1.
Oh, man, that was insane carnage here. It's only been less than 3... Well, by that time, it's only less than 3 laps, and it's already been crazy around the back. Very unfortunate for those drivers there. Bad place at a bad time. In my as I would say, the duties is now half a second ahead, gaining that advantage. Hopefully keeping that gap very open. But I think there's still plenty of time for Rozak and maybe the Multiforce GP cars to fight back. But Team Sheba, I don't want to say this joke again, but top dog so far.
Yeah, we'll leave the work there to Lorenzo, trying to hold on to that P1 and get Team Sheba a very early first ever win. But Patrick Roszak wants Nexium Pole team to make sure he will be getting their team off to the Dream Star in the month of April. So yeah, the race is on. Nexium Pole team, 2 podiums to their name, 1 for Roszak, 1 for Gazowski. So I want to improve on that and get a P1. Multiforce though, probably just biding their time, thinking, yeah, we are together. We can keep anyone else behind us at bay, as we now switch our attention to the battle for 11th position there. Would be Lure now down behind Gazowski, so it's pass there for the other Nexium Pole team, and they will be on for a solid batch of points here. Of course, knowing that the point system has changed since last year, it's 30 points for a win and 25 for second place. So yeah, even if it's just P2 today for Patrick Roszak, that's still a ton of points, and that'll probably double his luck there. Yeah, he's on 25 exactly, so he'll be up to 50 with a second place. But I'm sure he's going to work as hard as he can to make sure it is actually a victory for him.
Yep, Saracino also comfortably P5. The other Team Sheba car, so it looks like there's going to be lots of points here for the team, with so far being P1 and P5. Could be maybe a little. Could they gain up on the points difference as Malta GP being P3, P4? No, I don't know, to be honest, but we'll see later on after the ending of this race, because we don't know what's going to be happening here. Karl Magaspori in 16th going over Halsvik around the chicane, nicely done, and is now gone up to P15. A very nice move from the Team Irish driver going into the final corner, starting the lap 5.
Yeah, but Eoin Halsvik won't want to give up whatsoever.
Oh.
And he'll try the high side. Oh, as deep as he could possibly go there without getting the under tray stuck on the curb there, similar to what happened to his teammate Marcus. But yeah, he's got to be careful, because on his tail it's Kasper Michalak and Phone are in that similar sort of dilemma where they've no points so far, and they need to find their way into the top 15 to get their season rolling. Yeah, so much pressure on these drivers. They really want to have the chance just to say, yeah, I got the 15th position, or I can expand. Bit of gravel kicked up there in the background, but it's all okay. Yeah, still a case of follow the leader thus far. Maybe trouble at the could have been Soppinen, perhaps someone down there.
I think it was Glenn just going down a few places again. Yeah, saw a yellow flag in sector 2, and I saw Glenn's name just dropping down the order a little slowly, but still, hasn't given up just yet. Lucas Mono doing pretty well, replacing the recent race 2 winner Jansen Bintz, going into the very sharp left-hander here, going to the final chicane. Very, very comfortably close to Lexo. Both reserve drivers driving pretty well in this, despite being in a reserve spot. Hopefully, this might pique some interest for next year. Maybe too early to tell, but there's Lucas Mono trying to go around the outside. Is he going to make it stick? Going into turn 1. Oh, no. A bit of a spin! Oh, that's really unfortunate for Lucas. Oh, that would be an amazing overtake if he stick that and managed to overtake to go up to P9. Very unfortunate. But I think for him, keep your head down, keep racing, and try to recover. Go up to P10 as soon as he can. Still lots of time to do so.
Yeah, definitely these soft tires look to be very precious. As the majority have picked soft tires to begin the stint, whereas hard tire users, as we see Vin Glenn at Degner 2, yeah, he's gone full 360 there. And yeah, just being careful to not spin it again whilst he's in the gravel. So that explains what happens to him, and he's down in 26th now. We had the point there for Lucas, is that these soft tires seem to be by far and away the most popular choice, even for drivers who didn't qualify 15th or better. You can just briefly see Smith, Stefano and Zubinski have chosen the hard tires in the stints. Yeah, what Lucas needs to do now is make sure he hasn't flat spotted those tires after spinning around at turn 2, and just conserve them for a little while so he can have the chance to push on just before the pit stops. Perhaps another 7 laps from now we'll see some cars getting into the pits before the hard tire dash to the line. No real shake up in the top 5. They seem to be settled in thus far, so it will be a strategy battle, but just a little bit of in the background there. Carl Magnus Bore has definitely the momentum now. He seems very encouraged with his pace, Alex, and Massimiliano Riboli. He's defending Pix Light's honor now that Lucas had that spin.
Yeah, Carl Magnus Bore is doing pretty well so far, up to P14. I think he's going to be aiming to overtake Massimiliano Riboli for the P13 spot. Doing really, really well, having a great race so far. I gotta say, looking at that replay, Glenn spin, very lucky not getting it into the barrier at the exit of turn 9. That was pretty impressive from my standards. And as we can see, the position changes. Carl Magnus Bore gained 5 places, which is really impressive, as well as Menoclont 6 places as well. So it's nice to see, despite having some, Clont not able to make a time, recovering those positions, going up to P18, and Carl Magnus Bore, another poor qualifying from him, going up to P14 and into the points. I'd say, this is going to be a very interesting race for everyone. Saracino, is he just slowly catching up with Micah? And hopefully, maybe, we'll see a fight soon after they go into the pits. But for now, I think they're going to be just managing their tyres until the end of the stint. And hopefully, as soon as they switch, it's going to be game on, heads down.
Yeah, that is very true. And Stephen Lexo here, stepping in for Lucas Tylene today. Definitely KKR want to feel like they can potentially get a reverse grid draw look here, but Stephen here stepping certainly very close there to Lure. He wants that 10th position. And Vin Glenn, after a tumultuous first stint here, Alex, he's got to pit, and he's really got to hope that he can undercut some of his key rivals. As of course, yeah, if you don't get the look at the reverse grid draw, or in the case of the winners, you lose out, having to go in totally the opposite direction than top 10 from where you obviously got the podium, for example. If you're not in that reverse grid draw, you start where you finish, basically. So Vin Glenn has to really push on with these hard tires. He's going to have to outperformed them for about 17, 18 laps. So a very long stint on the hards, hoping that he can actually get back to where he was originally or somewhere close to it.
Yeah, he's going to really manage those tyres, not focusing on the race, not focusing on battling anyone, but, you know, like I said, keeping the head down, focus on the race line. Oh, the amazing move by Oliver Taras, as I was talking about England there, at the entrance at turn 16, 17. They're still fighting for it at the start-finish straight. Lexo still, you know, maybe going to try and find a place to fight as you go into turn 1 and into turn 2. But no, Oliver Taras, nicely done at the final corners. At the end of that lap, that was an amazing move. Very sneaky, of course, going for that gap.
He definitely was very sly and discreet about how he pulled that one off, and do feel sorry for Lexo there. Just had nowhere else to go once the outside line in the Casio Triangle was committed, and the right became a left in the chicane. So there we go, lovely pass from Taras. He will be now vying to enter the top 10 to back up his teammate Latinen, currently in 6th place via Apex GP, wanting to overtake Team Sheba. It's not happening by any stretch in this race 1. They're going to have to settle for defending from HGP, which they are on course to do as a unit. But right now, Team Sheba are giving Multiforce the first potential lot on the copybook in a race 1. So let's see if there is any strategy going on between the two teammates. As it seems now, Patrick Roszak has been reeled in a bit, and Pavel wants to make this overtake count. Alex, let's see if he can do it with some push to pass.
Yep, this is going to be a very interesting part of the race now. Very close behind, it seems. I think that was Micah going to the pits. Yep, Matthews Micah is in the pits going for a quick change. He's trying to make a move, just swerving just behind him at the entrance of turn 1, going at the exit of turn 2. And here we go into the difficult S's, trying to stay as close as possible to Roszak as we go into the exit of those, into the fast turn 7, and coming into the fast turn 8 as well. It seems Roszak has gone scot-free for now. I don't think there's going to be any changes just yet. Maybe not until they change their tyres.
Yeah, so definitely the intel should be fed to the Chutis and Roszak. They should be well aware about the decision there to pit Matthews Micah, and he will have does he have yes, he does have a little bit of clear track before he catches up to Smith. So yeah, that will play a little bit of a factor. Can they get into that space just in between Gonzalez Green and Smith? That's the sweet spot here, Alex. So they want to get right into there. So if they can keep the tires going for this last lap before they pit, great. If they can go further, hopefully that works out. But yeah, definitely Team Sheba and Nexium Pole team need to ask their drivers, how do they feel about the tires? Can they go any further? Or else is it the right time just to make sure they can stay clear of Micah and his undercut attempt? Let's see. And yeah, the top 2 have pitted. I beg your pardon. Yes, it is Roszak and Andrzejewski who pit. So Lorenzo de Chutis has stayed out an extra lap. So it's a 1-2 for Team Sheba for this lap at least.
Yeah, there was yellow in Sector 3 as well. As soon as they exited Sector 3, I don't know if that was because people are pitting in. It seems Roszak's teammate is also pitted in as well. Lots of more yellow flags flaring up, maybe due to people entering the pits. I'm not 100% sure. I don't see any changes.
Oh, Micah!
Oh, no, Micah's P12. Oh, wow, ahead of Roszak. That's really impressive. This could be a good chance for Micah to maybe overtake the Chutis when he goes into for the pit. This could be a really good strat call from Multiforce GP. A very high chance as well. This is, you know, it's all about not just about the pace, it's all about strat as well when it comes to these things. When you have to have a forced pit stop, and it seems Matthews Micah is, you know, working this really well.
Yeah, magical undercut there to leapfrog 2 key drivers. And we'll have to compare lap times to see how Lorenzo's faring at 35.9 Sector 1 compared to Micah's 35.6, so not too bad. But yeah, I think definitely Team Sheba have to call him in now, or else it will be beyond his capabilities to keep those tires alive. You can just see the wear on the fronts there, Alex, as he comes right in on schedule, making sure he doesn't speed in pit lane. Yeah, this is so vital now. This could decide the fate of our race 1 winner now. So Saracino takes the lead. So Team Sheba don't yield their lead just yet. But now we'll see where are the top contenders for the win. Starting with Micah. He's on the run down to start-finish straight. It's going to be very marginal. You can just see the Team Sheba's ready to get to full power again. Oh. And he's held it. He's held it so far. Very, very impressive to keep that extra lap compared to the rivals. And yeah, definitely the heat in the tires will be so comfy and enjoyable now for Micah. He's going to put a lot of pressure on Lorenzo right now, Alex.
Yeah, a very nicely done pit stop there by the duties. Very unfortunate for Micah for that strap. You know, maybe he might have wanted to have that to work, but unfortunately he is a little closer than usual. There could be some more moves to happen soon. We do have Saracino needing to pit as well as the others, well, obviously ahead of them. So provisionally I think the duties has the provisional lead as soon as Gonzalez Green, Koenig, Taras, Hamming and Saracino takes their pit stops as soon as they can. I think the last thing that these top drivers want is to be stuck in traffic with the top 5 on used tires, so it won't be very useful for them, if I say so, and hopefully they won't get in the way too much.
Yeah, very true, Alex. We'll just have to divert from this subject right now. Of course, the battle for the lead is on for this moment, but yeah, just the other side of things, LEF Auto Racing have lost one of their cars, and it was Sven de Vries who had a gigantic shunt at 130R, so that explained those yellow flags you would have seen. And yeah, absolute crestfallen team leader. But now we'll
here comes Micah.
Hope we see Sven in race 2 as Micah makes his move, and this for the net lead if he can hang on to it on the high line, and he has it complete into turns 1 and 2. So Micah, once Oliver Taras and Alex Gonzalez Green have pitted, Micah will take the lead.
An amazing move by Micah, making that look easy, just at the entrance of turn 1, taking it and able to get back on the racing line before losing control of the car by going either off track or something, on putting a bit more steering or more power into that. But I think the main objective now for Micah is to extend that gap. And I see Gonzalez Green in the background there. I think as soon as possible overtake the back markers and extend this gap, like I said, and hopefully have this comfortable win in his hands. But they're still under pressure from the duties is still very close behind them, as we see the gap on the leaderboard there, and Rozak is also less than a second as well behind the duties, as well as Andrzejewski. So it's going to be a bit of a train for the lead coming up very soon, and it looks like the duties is staying behind him, maybe going to be waiting a bit for the start finish straight. He's trying to go, oh, he's gone for the dive bomb. Oh, what an amazing move. Oh my god, I can't believe what I've just seen. Take a bow to duties. That was amazing.
Yeah, but he's got to merge straight to the pit wall because he's got 2 cars in his reach.
Oh, they
and
touch.
Micah wanted straight back, wheel to wheel into turn 1. And is it a repeat of what we saw just a moment ago? No, they'll stay side by side for a lot longer this time. And another wheel bang. But it's a counter-attack from Matthews Micah, and he regains that position. So there we go. Just a minute of absolute glorious driving with race victory at stake. And that does help Patrick Roszak out a lot, because he is now able to get right in the gearbox and fight for this win. Pavel Andrzejewski, championship leader thus far, should be able to hang on to it just about on the current form. It will be very close. So, yeah, this is championship implications. It'll be probably points, I think, or maybe 1 point, 12, yeah, 12 points actually. So this will give Micah the championship lead by 1 point if it's first to fourth in this order. But Patrick Roszak wants to break this up and get himself another podium for next gen pod team. And yeah, the absolutely extraordinary Alex. Really, really impressive driving there, and I'm sure there's more to come.
I haven't seen amazing driving like that since God knows how long. That's an amazing driving. They both, tried to keep it as clean as possible. There was a few tire bangs there. No, he's not going to try and go for that dive bomb again. I have just noticed as well, Saracino has joined the mix and is behind Andrzejewski, hoping, to take the 5th place. Well, going to be 4th place as soon as Taras is in the pits. So, as Saracino, hoping to take the 4th position, he is going to, maybe swerve around Micah, give him a bit of pressure. As we see Andrzejewski still behind Roszak, struggling to overtake, and there is Saracino there, very nicely and close. Hopefully able to get that advantage from Multiforce GP, getting some points advantages for constructors. We do see Carl Magnus Bore here, P13 behind Stefano. Still, and also defending at the same time behind him, Luca Murno up to P14. Great recovery there for the Pixelate reserve driver. And so far, so good. And commiserations to De Vries, as you said earlier, unfortunately retired.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Yeah, in fairness, the attrition rate is very low today. So we're just 2 cars out of the proceedings there. So Turkey race 2, we saw a lot of chaos, and of course Melbourne, we saw a lot of trouble at 11-12. That resulted in DNFs in race 2. So at the moment, the return in terms of finishing, if things stay this way, but of course another 12 laps to go or thereabouts. Take 2. Let's see it on the high side. Comes in GTs. But of course,
still side by side, going into turn 18.
Oh no,
a bit of a slide there from the Tuties. Is he still side by side? I can't see from that camera angle. Has he got a bit of a bleed? He has. I think he's going to go for it. They're still side by side. This is amazing. Going into turn 1. But it seems Micah's still... But he's going to go switch to the inside. Micah's still trying to defend. A bit of touch there again from both drivers. Trying to get that P1. There's still about 11 laps to go in this race. This is astonishing stuff from both drivers. I haven't seen something like this since, like I said, I don't know when was the last time I last saw it. This is amazing stuff.
The YouTube audience are speechless, just leaving question marks. What on earth have we just witnessed there? As both our contenders, currently 1st and 2nd, have made contact multiple times, and yet they're still pointing in the correct direction. And they're giving Patrick Roszak a chance. But if, in fairness, as you mentioned there, Alex, Giuseppe Saracino is an outside bet here for the podium, because he's been giving strong signals of pace here. He's actually been quickest in Sector 1 this time around. So, it's definitely no time to relax for Pavel. His championship lead at the moment is gone by a singular point. But he would prefer, I'm sure, just to get the points in the bank and try again in race 2 with reverse grid rules. Take 3, is it an inside dive again? Yes, he loves this trick, but he's got to slow it properly and avoid that.
There's a spin!
He wanted the pass, so he's done the opposite of what I thought he was going to do. And it's Giuseppe Saracino on the podium. He's not an outside bet anymore, as the leaders contend again. Micah for the outside for the 3rd time.
It seems... Oh, he's gone off track. It seems the Tuties made it stick, and it's going to stick to P1. Oh my goodness me, I'm just looking at the replay. It seems Roszak tried to do the Tuties there, but unfortunately went into Andrzejewski. There's a replay here of what happened. There's going to be, I think there might be some words from the stewards at the end of this evening. And oh no, very lucky from Saracino not being part of that big mix. Here's Pavel's point of view. I think. Oh no, he tried to make the move. He locked up and went into the side of Roszak. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, you really got to be careful when braking for that chicane. It's gonna be, this is insane. This is one of the most insane races. This is
There's definitely.
I'm lost for words. I'm lost for words.
I'll just quickly say, Pavel losing rear traction. That's not deliberate foul play by any means, and in fairness, Patrick has P4, so that is right and just. They're in the order that they should be, as Patrick had the corner, and without knowing what was going to happen, he'd been hit in the side there. So Giuseppe Sarcino now benefits up to P3. Roshak, though, he should be P4. That is correct. And then Pavel, with that loss of traction, he's fallen away down to 5th. And Latinan wants to get Apex Grand Prix into action there. So we'll see now that our wounded championship leader has to regroup very quickly, or else Latino will get him as well. And Micah's loss of 5 points will be compounded. We'll definitely double check that. But at the moment, it is 25-16. So it's a tie at the top, if my maths are correct. 11-point swing if things stay like this. But yeah, definitely Latinan could have a say here. But of course, Decutus, he's been playing 3 outstanding moves into the Casio triangle, but on the opposite point, does he know what Micah will do to him in return with another 9 laps to go in this extraordinary race 1?
And also a big, a nicely done, well played by Sarantino, playing the patient game, just seeing how Rozak and Andrzejewski was going to, how that was going to unfold. Flack still consistently P7. I'm just looking down the leaderboard, seeing if there's any changes so far from those last few laps. Oh, here we go. There's the changes here. Taras going up 6 places. Boré, 6 places again. Klont going up 7, which is really, really great for him. And some down arrows here for Stefano and Glenn after a few moments they had. And unfortunately, I think they're going to try and make that comeback for race 2, despite where they may be finishing at the end of this race. But Latina still now going to put pressure on Andrzejewski as we head into the next lap. Lap 18 of 26 now. This is going to be some race in the final few laps. If Micah catches up to Decutis, it seems so, over half a second of a gap so far, but I think he might be saving up that battery for the big finale. Right,
sure. It is now lap 19. Our top 3 drivers all in the low 136s. So yeah, they have the hard tires where they need to be at this moment. 137s for the remainder of the top 13, as a matter of fact. So yeah, down from 4 to 13, they have 137s completed there. The last lap, the yellow flags persistent there in sector, but seems to be gone away. And is it trouble perhaps for Smith, or is he in the pits again? I'll have to double check that in a moment. Just breathless stuff here. You finally have a chance to look at those drivers on the outside of the top 15. Unlikely to score any points, barring a shock at the very end. But yeah, Griffon, their drivers 19th, with Philip Koenig here on show, and then Kasper Michalak is 14th. So Griffon will get their first points of the 2025 campaign on current form. And Koenig wants to pass Massimiliano Roboli and try and factor into the one of the top climbers on the grid there with Menno Klont in P17. And
apparently there's a big crash. Sorry to interrupt. I think there was a big crash from Marcus Christensen. I'm looking at the comments there. He has DNF'd from the race. Hopefully we might get something of a replay there soon. It could be by himself or with another driver. I don't know how far he was with other drivers in the grid. Here's a replay here. Oh, he has no rear wing. Oh, where did that go? Oh, here it is.
Here we go.
This is from earlier. That was interesting. Then I was like, "Where's his wing gone?" So there's Marcus going around. Turning here. Oh, that's where he lost his wing there. Oh, just a slight tap and it's gone. Very unfortunate. Going at the exit of turn 14, just losing it. And from there, he was just driving without wing. I think he didn't know that he had a wing missing there, and must have gone full throttle around this corner and just went straight into the barrier. There we go. Oh my goodness. Oh god, that's a hideous crash. I hope
Alan McNish style there.
I hope his wheel sensitivity is not too high, otherwise that's going to be a big shock to him. And here we go. Let's see here. Is it too much close, or did he just no? He just loses it by himself there. Steve's point of view at this big old crash here. This is going to be one for the views. There he goes. Oh
my goodness.
Fence catching him as well. So very lucky they didn't go all the way over. Otherwise that would have been a bit of a mess.
Absolutely, yeah. That must be terrifying. No clue. He's just going full tilt, 300 kilometers an hour without rear downforce. And that's exactly what happens. And here we have a view of Stephen Lexo. He wants to get back at Matthews Gozowski. So really good showing here for Nexium Paul team. And here we go, KKR Esports. Have a shot on the inside line. Rooting him on as best he can. Will be, I'm sure, Matthew McKinnon up late for his time zone. And he is through. So Steve Alexo has his KQR Esports car in P10. And there's definitely a shot at reverse grid pole. But he's got to be very, very lucky for his number 10 to show up. And Matthews Kozowski there for Nexium Paul team has to now think about the threat from Murnau in the pit slate, just about a half a second behind.
Amazing stuff there by Stephen Lexo. Hopefully he might keep that up for the rest of the race as we're now down to 6 laps left. I just found out as well, seeing in the comments, there's been another DNF, Gonzalez Green, now going down. I don't know, I haven't seen everything yet. Well, again, we'll wait for the replay when it's available. But
Philip
so far,
Koenig out as well. Oh. Double retirements. There are great
2 retirements already.
Yeah, we'll check out that replay when it's available.
Just wait for them to do that. There we go.
I'll try again. Take 2.
Take 2 on this. There we go. It's Vin Glenn. See what happens here. Oh, bit of a touched the grass a bit. Oh, and he's gone into the barrier. And there goes his front wing. Oh, that's really unfortunate. He's took a bit of a tumble there. There's Gonzalez Green. That looks like just before the final chicane.
Exactly, yeah. 130R proving critical for another driver today. And LEF are completely done for in this race 1. So team manager Lorenzo in the chat has been absolutely crestfallen for Sven de Vries's retirement, and now he has to have a repair bill for 2 cars now, and you have to pick those drivers up and try again from the back of the grid in race 2. So it's a long way back for LEF Auto Racing, but they certainly will give it their best shot. Of course, we don't have a report on Koenig, who's out of the race for Griffon. Meaning that his battle at about P19 comes to an early end. So therefore, it's the battle for Michalak to make sure Griffon actually get their point to confirm they're off the bottom of the championship. Michalak by tiebreak. There's Koenig spinning.
Another. It's the same corner as it's the same corner as Glenn as well. Just the exit of turn 8, just nearly going into turn 9. It can be tricky, that corner. You've got to be really, really careful. Here we go. It's like Mike is using some of his deployment here to catch up with the tuties. Sorry, just going out of that DNF zone, going into the top 2 fight. The P1 fight, as it looks like Micah doesn't need to bother too much about the car behind him. Sarcino a second and just around a second and a half behind. But Micah still, half a second. I think he's gonna use the rest of his deployment in the last few laps of this race. He's gonna be saving it up. I think the Tutis is thinking the same as well. He does not want to let Micah through, because this is going to be very important for Team Shiba to get these very, very important points. It's not for the team championship, but for themselves in the championship. I think we got ourselves a Red Bull versus Mercedes on our hands here. I thought it would be a 1-2 from Multiforce GP, just like the last few races, but it seems a twist in a tail has entered as Team Shiba has finally found their groove, and P1, P3 so far. I think this is going to be really good for them on their resume after this race.
Without a doubt, yeah. Team Shiba will be well clear of the century already. So the threat from behind with Apex GP and HGP, they're just 1 and 2 points behind respectively. that's not going to be the case anymore as long as they hold on to this 1-3 result. But Giuseppe Saracino, an ambitious driver, wants to maximize his result and potentially really make it tough for Multiforce. So this is what I was thinking as a hypothetical in the build-up. Could anyone give Multiforce their first real shock and awe? And yeah, it is Team Shiba just 3 laps away from doing it. And it is definitely just between the 2 teammates now, to Chutis and Saracino. Can they pair up and give Matthews Micah the threat? It is championship implications. Even at this early stage, it will be a tie at the top between Multiforce's Micah and Andrzejewski. They'll be level on points, with the 11-point deficit being wiped out as things stand. But yeah, if Saracino can make it an absolutely remarkable 1-2 for Team Shiba in their fledgling time in FS1, it will be a real turn up for the books. It's something MS Performance I can't recall doing very often last year. So yeah, this will be truly exemplary if they can do it. But I'm sure the temptation should only really come up if it's actually clear and obvious that there is an overtaking point for Saracino. Otherwise, yeah, definitely take the win and 3rd place. That would be my input if I was team manager, but it is up to Giuseppe in some ways. He is very quick at the moment, lapping reasonably quick. Again, he's taking more time out of Matthews here, Alex. So yeah, he's getting so close, and he will have the chance to use that push to pass, I'm sure.
Oh yes, I think the pressure is on now for Matthews Micah as we head into the penultimate lap of race 1. I think Saracino is going to be maybe using some of his deployment just to keep him under pressure, and maybe, you know, using his deployment a little too early, because he is still quite less than a second behind the Tutis as we go around the S's. A very complex corner. Anything can go wrong for these drivers. You know, you gotta get the entry and the exit and the apex all correctly to have that really good advantage. But and you know, it's very oh, there's a move here by Eoin for Housefisk for P15 going for that final point. Who's this? He's overtaking Tone Lua, the Team Iris driver. It's still neck and neck, and it's still going in the S's.
Oh no!
Contact. Oh, it's a contact there. And oh dear, there goes the point chances for 100 to 1. Oh, that's really unfortunate there for. Yeah, I'm saying that's going to be another look from the stewards, if reported. I think that would be an amazing fight there between both drivers, but unfortunately, it wasn't very clean and a very difficult corner to overtake. It's not one of those best corners to fight for. I'd say, you know, stay behind if possible and go for the next corner. Saracino, very, very close to Micah. He might go for the dive bomb here. He might be going for it. He is going for it. No, Micah closes the gap as they go around the final chicane for the second last time into turn 18, going for the final lap. The Tutis, it's going to be now or never, mate. Half a second gap. He's got the high ground so far, and I think it's going to be all down to Saracino trying to overtake Micah to get that Team Shiba 1-2.
He's thinking about it, but yeah, Sector 1, I think it's just going to be follow the leader. And with 1 to go, it is Renzo de Chutis looking for this absolutely incredible result for Team Shiba. Just another minute or so to go. If he can complete this last lap, he will get it. And yeah, definitely everyone else is just too far back to win it by themselves. It's got to be a mistake if anyone else is going to win the race, and using the curb on the inside very heavily there in Degner 1. And Saracino, I think, yeah, he's going to put as much pressure as he can on Micah to make a mistake. The hairpin just a little bit too difficult to make an overtake. It will have to be the final sprint past Spoon into 130R and then line it up into the chicane, Alex. That's my take if he's going to go for it. But yeah, this is very welcome distraction with Lorenzo, of course, able to pull well clear now with nearly 2 seconds to the good. And Micah just wants to hang on to the second place as best he can, because he will be tied for the championship. I think by virtue of race wins, I think it won't be an actual outright lead. And here he goes into 130. This will be madness. He can do it. Oh, wow.
Oh, it's a touch there. Oh, he's off the track. Is it going to be ahead? It's going to be all gone down to the wire. Now or never, mate. Here we go. Down to the final chicane. There's a bit of contact. Oh, he had to yield back there. That's so unfortunate. He's going to end up with P3. The Tutis winning
Wow.
the main race here in Suzuka. A nicely well played for Team Shiba. P1, P3. The dog has got the bone. I can finally say that.
Yes. And Lorenzo away from the series for the last 5 years. He never got a victory in his original stint with Holland Racing Team, TCS off, or Satellite, for example. But now his moment has arrived. He is a race winner in FS1. Congratulations. His best result in the past was a third place in race 2 in 2019, both Bahrain and Britain. But there we go. He's elevated all the way using that time away to perform another series. He's got that result, and 10 out of 10 effort for his teammate Saracino, trying his best to take second off Micah. It just didn't quite pay off. And then outside the podium positions, we've Patrick Roszak and Pavel Andrzejewski battling away there, 4th and 5th. Jassi Latinen will have to settle for 6th, but Apex will be pleased with that, knowing that Oliver Taras drove superbly in P8. Just in between those teammates, it's Frank Hamming in 7th, and then Scott Fleck 9th, and Stephen Lexo, a very able substitute in what is normally Lucas Tylene's for 19 machine. Absolutely brilliant stuff. But yeah, it's been a very, very long wait for Lorenzo, but he's finally a GPV winner in FS1, and he is, he will definitely remember those side-by-side battles in the final chicane and then down to turns 1 and 2. Thankfully, the contact that was wheel to wheel didn't result in any spins. So there we go, Alex. We'll see him, I'm sure, just absolutely revel in the glory. Congratulations once again. There we have Micah and Saracino on the podium together, just trying their best in the final chicane to have one last fight, and it went Micah's way. There we have, of course, Roszak 4th, Andrzejewski 5th, Latinen, Hamming, Taras, Flack and Lexo in the top 10. Next in pole team get more points thanks to Mateusz Gazowski in P11. Lucas Murno actually recovered brilliantly there to get P12, so yeah, he was able to keep his soft tires safe until he came into the pits, and he worked his socks off to get Pixelate points in P12. Carl Magnus Bore in 13th has also given Team Iris a lot to enjoy there. Very impressive drive. Kasper Michalak off the bottom of the table. He was ranked bottom with a 23rd place finish in race 2 at Turkey, so he's now off the bottom with 2 points. And Menno highest climber, getting 1 point for KKR in 15th to back up Lexo. Riboli missing out narrowly there, unlucky. Tunlure, similar story. He defending hard from Kevil Hausvik, and he ends up with nothing himself. There's the aforementioned 100 to 1 car in 18th. Matthew Zabinski gets a 19th place, and Wesley Stefano, best ranked MS performance car, P20. 3 more finishers to bring up. We've Thomas Smith, Juho Soppinen, and Raymond Van Sust. I think Raymond was were they a lap down, I think, something like that. Yeah, no, not on the same lap. Pardon, sorry, they're all in the lead lap, thank goodness. But the disappointments there for Philip Koenig. Both the LEF auto racing cars, starting with Gonzalez Green there in 25th, and then Sven de Vries 28th. Vin Glenn, too many spins for his liking, he couldn't go any further. Marcus Christensen lost the rear wing with 300 kilometers an hour on the entry to 130R, and that ended up in absolute carnage. And then Tom Lafont, we didn't get to see much of him at all, so he is 29th and last. So Alex, what a race! What a race!
That was purely amazing. I think the chat would agree. Everyone very happy to see the Tutis winning that race. A few, who are fans, who are a fan of Multiforce GP, there is, they're a bit, mixed about it, but they're very pleased. They've got a bit of competition here. It's going to be very, very interesting in race 2, and maybe throughout the rest of the season. Team Shiba has now got the pace to maybe tackle on Multiforce GP for both the Drivers' World Championship and the Constructors' Championship. This is going to be one heck of a season, and I can't wait to sit down and see this all over again later on for race 2 and in 2 weeks' time.
Of course, but yeah, after the enjoyment we've had for the last 45 minutes or so, it's time to take a quick break, but don't go away. We have the sprint race with reverse grid rules. See you then. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're still buzzing from that last feature race, but it's time for 18 laps of a sprint around Suzuka. It's Eoin Harmon here. Beside me, of course, it's Alex Hallows, as we're just wrapping up warm-up. And Alex, we have our reverse grid draw confirmed.
Yep, it looks like, looking in the announcements, we do have... Oh, where's it gone? Oh, there it is. Reverse grid is number 6, so Latinen is going to be on pole. So this is going to be quite interesting. So if I'm correct, top 6 is going to be reversed. So it's going to be a bit of a madhouse, as, you know, we saw an amazing fight from all those drivers who finished in those positions. And, you know, Multiforce's Pavel Andrzejewski now has the upper hand over Team Sheba, who got the 1-3 in race 1. And, you know, it's been cut in half to 18 laps. And it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be, you know, now or never.
Absolutely. So Latinen and Taras, as teammates in FS2 last season, guided their team to 3rd in the FS2 championship, which offered them the chance to be promoted up to this series. And their results in Japan last year is definitely more favourable to Yassi, as he got a podium in race 1 at P3 and a P8 in a reverse grid draw. So now I probably feel like, yeah, Yassi will have the chance to try and maximise his potential and get a podium again, this time in a pole position slot, whereas Oliver didn't fare so well, but we saw him drive a very smart race, really determined and encouraging performance there to get him healthy points as well. So Oliver definitely an outside shot as well for another bid at points. So our second warm-up session has just concluded, and we are now having the opportunity to assemble our grid. So yeah, P6, maybe not the most fan-friendly outcome to just swap the top 6 around 1 to 6, but yeah, definitely one day we will have our P10 driver get the reverse grid pole, and that will liven things up, Alex. But yeah, definitely Apex, we're very pleased with that draw of P1 and a P8. So yeah, they can work together and try and find their way through for extra points. But yeah, definitely the fact that their Team Shiva performing so well, they're still within a shout of another a dose of champagne if they can just make 1 or 2 more overtakes.
Yep, I think for Latinen, it's going to be, you know, Latinen, sorry. I think it's going to be, the main focus is going to be keep the head down, just focus on turn 1 and just, you know, keep ahead as much as you can, you know, and defend like your life depends on it. And, you know, and here we go for the formation lap for the sprint race. Exciting times for the Apex driver as well, and I wish him good luck with the pole position. Got a tough competition behind him, with Andrzejewski second place. I'll leave you to it for the starting grid.
Yeah, let's do it. So Latinen on pole, Pavel Andrzejewski benefiting there for reverse grid there in P2, and then we've Roshak and Saracino 3rd and 4th, Micah and De Chutis, they're 5th and 6th. They battled it out for glory in race 1, and they got to do it all again. Let's not forget Frank Hamming and Oliver Taras are in play there in 7th and 8th. The top 10 is completed by Scott Flack and Stephen Lexo. Matthews Gazowski has Lexion Paul team's interests there beside Lucas Murnau, Carl Magnus Bore, and Kasper Michalak. Good results for them, 13th and 14th. Menno Klont, big improvements on race 1 qualifying. He's now 15th, with Massimiliano Raboli in 16th. Tun Luer ahead of Onkvo Hausvik. No love lost there between those two. Matthew Sabinski on his own today, P19 for Hyperion, and Wesley Stefano in 20th for MS Performance. Tomas Smith, I'm sure he'll be inspired by his teammates' performance. He's in P21. Juho Sopanen is 22nd. Raymond Van Sust, the final driver to finish in race 1 beside Philip Koenig. And then final 5 drivers, we'll start off with Alex Gonzalez Green. He's beside Finn Glenn. Marcus Christensen in 27th with Sven de Vries beside him. So a lot of experience versus newcomer vibe there. And then P29 and last for today, but I'm sure working hard to get 01 Esports going, it's Tom Lafont. And yeah, pit strategy not going to play as much of a factor, but of course we saw Pavel perform a sublime job just to try something different. But yeah, it was Janssen Bintz's evening 2 weeks ago, and Latino want to make sure Apex have their fair shake. Race results 2 weeks ago, encouraging with Latino P5 and Taurus P9, so a bit better than that today with this 1st and 8th. That'll definitely be on their minds if they can do it. But we'll double check our tire strategies. We're on board with Latino, and he should be on the standard hard tire, more probable to be picked, as it will complete the distance guaranteed with a little bit of conservation, I'm sure. Just seeing a lot of yellow stripes, so maybe one driver or two drivers in the top 10 take a gamble. We will verify that. Yeah, it looks like Andrzejewski wants to play the soft tire gamble again, and Oliver Taras similar. He wants to get Apex pushing up the grid. But yeah, we will make absolutely sure everything is right in order as we have the red lights illuminated. Race 2 action begins. Latinen versus Pavel Andrzejewski on the front row. Who's going to lead into turn 1, Alex? It looks like Pavel's advantage.
Yep, it looks like very good so far. It's neck and neck as we go into turn 2. Bit of contact there, but luckily nicely recovered by Andrzejewski. Now there's going to be a fight for P2 with Wojak and Andrzejewski. Still, Andrzejewski nicely done, nicely defended there after that little contact in turn 1, turn 2 by Latinen. As we see Latinen now soaring up, just about over a second ahead. Andrzejewski, now maybe infurious by that poor start in that first corner. And here we go into turn 9. Everyone seems to be going great so far. No yellow flags. Very, very clean. As we go into turn number 10, 11, 12, turn number 11, sorry. just opened my thing here. Carmack Spori P13, as we see here, having a great start there. I don't think he has any changes just yet. And still staying behind Murno in the Pixelate car. And Menoclant P14 also behind. So a bit of a huge train here for the opening stages of the race. And it's going to be like this for quite a while now, until maybe after a few laps where everything's going to be, breaking apart in a few places. But so far, very clean by all the drivers, and it's going very well.
Yeah, very solid so far. And the gamble for soft tires, thank goodness for Pavel, the bits of contact didn't end up getting any worse in his battle with Patrick Roszak. And in fairness, Taras of England there getting 2 positions with his soft tires, and he's half a second to gain on Matthews Micah. Now check out the turn 2 camera there as Menoclant tries an approach on Carl Magnus Bore. No look this time. He'll definitely try again with Kasper Michalak on his case. Yeah, the pack should be pretty tight so far, but yeah, nearly a second lead early on here for Latinen. And he's now bouncing up and down from that 9/10, maybe back down to 3/4 of a second. And yeah, he shouldn't be too concerned thus far. Good sector 1, but yeah, the best sector 1 that we've represented with speed, it's Patrick Roszak, so he's on the offensive.
Yeah, and I'm now seeing, just saw from the bottom 2, it seems that one of the Team Irish drivers, I think it's Turnlure, has DNF, as well as Massimiliano Riboli has DNF as well. We're going to look at a replay here. I think it happened in Sector 3, looks like the 130R corner. It seems going pretty good so far, very cleanly done into the chicane area. Oh, we had a bit of a contact by one of the, I think that's one of the Hyperion esports drivers there. And there goes Turnlure. Off the track and losing the front wing. There goes his race. Here's Massimiliano Riboli's point of view, fighting for that position with Turnlure. And as you see, it's just staying on the inside. You can just see there, got tapped there. And he lost his wheel there. Very unfortunate. The commentator's curse has gone once again. I just said, it was all nice and clean, but it just happened.
Yeah. So that's 2 DNF, so frustrating time of it for Turnlure. Won't get to have a shot at points again after missing out. On Hausvik, I'm sure you want to use the second chance to get 100 to 1 into the points. Teammate Christensen on his own there in P25. I think there's a bit of trouble with Van Sust and Lafont. Maybe potentially gone from the race or in the pits or something like that. So yeah, Van Sust in the pits and Lafont out. So unfortunately, Lafont doesn't get very many racing laps done today. Returning to our top order, Latinen's lead is coming down a little bit. Saracino and Micah about a second apart, so it should be the battle for the podium that we should think about. Roshak wants to really get next to pole team running. They're so close to regular podiums, not quite getting it there in race 1, of course. Team Shiba, now that they have the thrill of victory, and here's Kevil Hausvik. What a lap this is. He's up to 15th and he's side by side with Thomas Smith.
Yep, it's still side by side, but you know he's just lost a place there. Thomas Smith, you know, making it stick just ahead, going into this really fast corner. He's gonna go to he's gonna try and go for the dive bomb. Thomas Smith there, going it on Stefano, not able to make it stick. They're still side by side. Had a bit of contact there as we go into the final corner, turn 18. Stuck behind one of the teams there. I think that was Mejlak, but it seems, yep, he seems to make it stick. He's now P14. He's going to be fighting it out with the 100-to-1 driver, Hausvik. Yeah, Vil Hausvik. Yeah, thank you. Very long surname. But it seems Smith has now gone up to P14. Nicely well done by the overpowered driver.
Yeah, extraordinary stuff. And there's still more to go. Lap 4 of 18 still. Yeah, the strategies will really be the soft tire runners. They're the ones who are gambling, so they'll have to definitely back off near the end. Knowing the pit cycle was about lap 8 to 12 thereabouts on soft tires in race 1. And 1 or 2 drivers definitely went longer than that, so that's the template they need to follow compared to the all-out blast on the one-stop strategy that we've seen. And on board now with Stefano. So briefly, Phil Hausvik, the battle with Smith, and yeah, we'll now get on board with Stefano. He wants to get MS Performance really into contention. So Menno Plant now out of the points. Race 2 not quite going his way. And 130R, he's gonna have to come here, Alex. No reversals here. He's got to do it, and he has the inside for the first half. The Casio Triangle. Menno Plant just about staying away from contact of Micah now. We'll check him.
He's lost it.
He's off the track. Just before the gravel trap. He's down 2 positions. Great news for Taras and the Chutis. They profit from that bit of contact that takes Micah down 2 positions.
I didn't see what happened there. Oh, we do have a relief. Is this from the incident? Oh, yep. There's Matthews Micah. There, he's trying to go around the outside of, I think that's Saracino. No, he just loses it there. I think he just trying not to turn into him too much and had to like, you know, just, you know, had to step away a bit as we see from his point of view. Let's see what happened. Oh, he's just oversteered too much there at that corner. That's really unfortunate and lost, and you know, resulting in losing a couple of places there. But you know, I think Micah's not going to give up here. We've still got a race. We've still got over 10 laps left, and you know, it's all going to carry on for him. And I couldn't help but notice that there has been more DNFs in this race. Gazalski, Lafont, and Lexo has DNF'd. I just realised just now in the leaderboard. There is Oliver Taras there. Making a move on Saracino. Is he going to make a stick at the end of this exit? And he does. End of the lap. And he's done it nice and clean. Saracino, hopefully, you know, maybe stay on the back of him. Maybe going to try and make a move at the entrance of this corner. Or is he going to play the waiting game? He's going to try and go around the outside. But no, he's going to stay and play it safe. Very nicely done there by Oliver Taras.
Excellent job there for Taras to get another move done, and then defending his honour into turns 1 and 2. Checking out Thomas Smith, defending from Eoin Hausvik now. They should be able to stay in formation for a little bit longer here, but yeah, definitely the chance for all of our teams to be rewarded with points after the first month of competition. That'll be very important, so it's really down to Phil Hausvik, and indeed at the moment either Michalak in 16th or Koenig in 20th for Griffon. They are of course already off the mark. We 100 to 1 are cheering for Wesley Stefano themselves. So yeah, the 3 teams that began today on 0 points, one of them have been sorted thanks to Michalak, and 2 of them are remaining. With Phil Hausvik the favourite here in 15th, he has 1 point in his pocket, and Stefano in 18th ahead of Raymond van Soest. Bit of a struggle today for Raymond, but yeah, definitely MS performance can't be ruled out by any means. And now our race 1 victor here, Lorenzo De Ciuti. He will stick behind his teammate for a little while here. I don't think there's any need to swap the cars around for championship's sake. Maybe in future events that could be worth considering. But at the moment, yeah, definitely Saracino is leading the standings for Team Shiba. So yeah, it should be Saracino ahead for the sake of the Drivers' Championship. But if maybe the lap times favour Lorenzo, then they could swap. And Vin Glenn, Natty P13, much better performance for him, keeping the car on the circuit. He's now 13th, and he wants to see if he can close the gap to Matthew Zubinski, and indeed look at his teammate as a benchmark.
Yeah, very nice start so far for Glenn. P13, like you just said, gaining 13 places as well. That's very impressive for the. I'm just checking my list. I can't find the team names. the HGP Motorsport driver. Nicely done there. There is also, another big place. Thomas Smith getting 7 places from the start of this race. De Vries and Green, both LEF drivers, getting a lot of places there now in the top 20. Hopefully, able to still improve in this race. Let's see who else has made a good improvement. Zabinski as well from Hyperion Esports, 7 places, P12 there. From compared to his start from at the start of this, and Oliver Taras gained P4, so he started from P8 and gained, hopefully, he might try and fight Rozak if he's got the pace for it, but we'll see later on down the race. But as we see, Menoclon is under pressure here. There's Andrzejewski behind Latinen again. I think we have a fight for P1 in our hands. As we see Rozak as well giving pressure to Pavel in the S's, and as we come out the S's into turn 6 and turn 7 into the fast corners here, got to be very careful. Turn 8 here and I think everyone's going to be doing pretty damn well. Nicely done on the curbs, on the apex, and yep, a little bit of an oversteer slip by Pavel. Luckily a good recovery there, and into the big nice sharp hairpin. Could maybe one day, maybe not today. Maybe some good overtaking opportunities in the future in other races that are yet to come.
Yeah, there's still plenty of learning. FS1 as the 3rd tier of GPVWC competition. Yeah, definitely the objective is to get as high as possible in the chance to be a Super League driver. I'm sure that's the goal for a lot of drivers. If you want to see the drivers that are on their way up, then yeah, FS1 is the place to be. And so far so good for Latinen, holding on to this lead. He has certainly the know-how from FS2 last year, being able to join forces with his familiar team again. I'm sure that's a really great benefit to him. But yeah, half a second or just about 6/10 there ahead of Pavel Andrzejewski, who will be set to become the undisputed leader of the championship once again. As Matthews, Micah down in 7th place there, not going to be able to catch up there. So now we'll just check out the replay for a moment. Stephen Lexo.
Oh, here we go.
So yeah, let's have a look at this.
It's in the S's as well, very complex corner. Oh, he just loses it here at the exit. Oh no, that's really bad timing there. Oh, if you got to be really careful when it comes to these corners. His Kozlowski's point of view here, I think it's just, yeah, he was on the racing line and had nowhere to go. That was just wrong place, wrong time there for the driver, and very unfortunate for both of those drivers. I think they have both DNF'd in that race, if I'm correct. Unless, yeah, they're both out. Yeah, so that's really unfortunate for both of those drivers. There's Sapanen, the 01 esports driver. I think he's also DNF'd. Oh, bit of a trip up, maybe touched the grass as he spins, and he's gone. Done a nice 360, went out, back on track again. Nice recovery, no cars around, so very nice and safe, which is good. And yep, I think that's all the replays we have so far, but it doesn't show why Sapanen has retired, but that's okay. We're still focusing on the race now, as we see the Tutti is still behind his teammate Saracino. I don't think they're going to be making any switches just yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, thanks for those replays, Remco. Just have to say, check your DMs if you can. Anyway, moving on. The Team Shiba cars working together. They're still 5th and 6th, not too shabby. After their 1-3 result. Let's check if Oliver Taras with those soft tires. This is probably when he needs to judge. Do I back off in 3 laps, or can I get a bit more out of the tires? They should be perhaps down to halfway by now, just making sure you can get them to the very end. This will be a fantastic showing for Apex with the 1st and 4th positions here, Alex, and whatever can be done about these Team Shiba cars, yeah, with their know-how around here. Yeah, they definitely should have some communications for Taras. Just make sure you can follow some lap time targets, and yeah, make sure this team result goes as expected.
Yeah, they all seem to be a bit comfortable despite Micah being behind them, just less than a second behind. I just received some info about Sapanen. Apparently, he's parked his car after that spin and just retired from the race. There is a yellow flag in Sector 2. I just saw that. I have a really eagle eye on when it comes to these things. I think it's Zabinski as he goes down the order. But anyways, Team Shiba, yep. Focusing on that now. Tarantino and Dechutis seems to be doing pretty good so far, and I think they're going to be focusing on just staying together, defending Micah, and putting pressure on Taras, who's currently 4th place. As we see Rozak still, trying to see a gap that he could go past on Andrzejewski, who is currently P2.
Yeah, so still these lead drivers in a line. Yeah, no one wants to break rank just yet until they're absolutely certain. Like we saw those extraordinary battles in race 1. Certainly the glory or the disaster, never really far away, depending on your point of view. And yeah, at the moment, Latinen has been steadying the ship here at times. Yeah, very solid there in the 137 range, as expected. Of course, fuel load, you don't need to carry as much fuel in the sprint. And of course, yeah, the balancing act is the tires will go pretty much as far as they can go to the 18 lap duration. And now, if anything, yeah, Lorenzo has a big run on his teammate. Will he be able to cement a pass as they want to defend from Micah? This is definitely Teams Championship relevant, of course, as Micah wants to make sure Multiforce's pretty comfortable lead at the top.
We're going to make a move here.
But here we go, side by side. It is action replay stuff here. Micah at the
very easily done
again, and Micah's made the pass.
Yeah, very easily done by Micah. Just a simple start-finish straight overtake there. I'm just looking at the replay there just before the entrance of turn 1. Just a very simple move there. I don't think I think Dechutis was a bit defenseless at that point, and with him being very close by, I think it was too late for Shiba to make any adjustments to making a switch or anything. But I think for now, they're gonna sandwich it in. Oh, there's a bit of a wide moment there from Dechutis, but thankfully no accidents or anything there from both of those. Any of that of the driver, but yeah, I think he's going to try and hopefully gain that place back. it's going to be a big old team rivalry between these two drivers from now on, and maybe for the rest of the season.
Yeah. More drama, of course. Yeah, with Micah knowing that step 1 is done, he's got a little bit of payback there on the duties. And whatever can be done now to break up Team Sheba's, make sure that Montforce got the undisputed victory over Team Sheba. It's one more car to pass, but yeah, with Taras in the way, there's no obvious spot with that slipstream. You've got to use a lot of push to pass if you want to negate that slipstream. So yeah, at the moment, yeah, he's better off just sitting in the slipstream. Will be 6 to go at this stage. And of course, our podium, very, very settled. After the lap 1, we saw Rorschach getting so close to an overtake, but it didn't quite pay off.
Yeah, I think Rorschach's going to be waiting a little bit longer, because as we all know, I think he's on the hard tyres while Andrzejewski's on the soft tyres. So he might be playing the waiting game till the latter stages of the race, taking advantage of those worn out soft tyres that he's gonna be having, and it's gonna be very difficult, especially after an extortionate amount of laps. And here we go, P17 looking in the midfield pack at the moment, taking a break from the top cream of the crop. Wesley Stefano, I think, having a bit of pressure on from the LAF driver Sven de Vries, who's currently trying to catch up with the pack and making a move. Meta Clont there losing a place there. It looks like yeah, I think they're both all fighting there for P16, because he's quite close on the back of Meno Clont, who's like I said, P16, sorry. And so far it's all been very clean. Sven Vries and his teammate Gonzalez Green just behind him. There is a yellow in sector 1, and I'm just looking. Christensen has DNF on the race as well, and I think that's all I can see so far. So not much of an activity at the moment, despite from Micah making that move on the duties, and I think that's all I can report on for now.
Yeah, very well said. Zabinski did take fastest lap there. Doesn't unfortunately reward you anymore with a bonus point, but of course he's well outside the top 15 anyway. And there's a pass there. Kasper Michalak he's made the pass on Tomas Smith, so that's extra points in Griffon's column. So yeah, a very encouraging weekend thus far for Kasper. Some more where that came from, I'm sure. Griffon working their way up in the standings, of course. Yeah, it's never nice to lose a driver like Shimon Freilich, one of the absolute best FS1 has seen in recent years. So yeah, it's all back to basics for Griffon, and yeah, however many points they can get today, just use that as a platform to keep going. And you can see a big gulf there. Much action there for Kasper to look ahead to, with Hausvik comfortably in 13th. This is Zubinski just after her fastest lap. He's probably in a groove, but it all came to an end here at Spoon.
Careful!
By himself.
There we go.
And in the gravel. Oh, watch out there.
Oh!
Oh,
no!
Oh, wow.
Oh, no! Oh,
thankfully everyone was able to react, so that was what cost him a lot of positions. And I suppose, yeah, with fastest lap, just wanted to give one last flurry. And now Marcus Christensen, his turn 1 entry, perhaps a bit too quick, and yeah, the back end couldn't hang on any longer. And I think he must have realized, yeah, enough's enough in just a moment, and he is no longer in the race. And now we'll look at Zubinski again. It's probably after he set the fastest lap rather than what triggered him to come into pit lane. And he's wide out of turn 2, so the S's, he's not going to be able to complete the S's properly, and he's probably had enough at this stage.
Yep. Yeah, I think those two drivers did have enough. It's not easy, all despite having a rough race 1, for both drivers. Christensen having that major impact of a crash, and also and not having the greatest in race 2, which is really unfortunate. But as I usually say, you can sometimes come back stronger the next time round, and for Zubinski, nicely done for the fastest lap. I'm guessing he still has the fastest lap. Haven't seen any updates just yet. But you know, very unfortunate. I mean, at this time of the race, you know, I'd pretty much do the same as well. Not gonna lie. So, but but now we're back in the main action. Saracino still, you know, seems to be still behind Micah. It seems Micah's made a move on Saracino. I don't think we've seen it or not, unless my brain's gone foggy again. So Multiforce GP going to be getting some good points at the end of this race if it, you know, ends like this. It seems Rozak's going to go for a move on Andrzejewski. Round the first corner we go. They're side by side, and oh no, it's nicely defended by Andrzejewski. A little bit of contact, but no losses there. And he's going to maybe try again. It looks like those used softs are going to be very useful for Rozak, as you know, having the high advantage on nice hard tires that can easily go out for the rest of the race.
Of course, yeah, this is the tipping point now for Andrzejewski and Taras, using the soft tires, probably beyond their race one lifespan. They've got to go right to the end here. Pitting around Suzuka is a pretty slow chore anyway. It is a quite long pit lane. And now on the inside, a bit of a peak there for Saracino, who has now, of course, been overtaken by Micah. So Micah now in the top 5, putting those Team Shibas in his wing mirrors. But of course, yeah, this brand new feud between our oldest team and one of our newest teams in FS1. It's definitely going to be a nice talking point for the next month or so, at least, depending on how both teams perform in Jeddah coming up in a fortnight. On board now with Saracino, and he wants to have a peek. So this is the Team Shiba specialty now, but it's not going to pay off at this time, especially with the penultimate lap coming up. Here we go. Latinen's lead over 1.5 seconds. He has been absolutely sublime, never letting go of that pole position that he earned in the reverse grid draw. P6 came up in the selection, and that's how he's there. So he's never let it go, showing that quality of pace. And now an empty screen in the front, but Carl Magnusborg wants to fill in that vacancy. He wants 11th place, taking it away from the highest climber, Vin Glenn. Wheel to wheel action for turn 2, but now the S's, someone has to consider what to do.
No!
Neither wanted to relent, and Team Iris
gone. That's
Team
really
Iris
unfortunate there.
Stuck. It's game, set and match. Tun Lure out of the race already. Carl Magnusborg wanted the maximum result here against Vin Glenn, and he ends up with nothing.
Yeah, it's. I think I gotta say, one of those cars had to, you know, retract and, you know, maybe wait till the end of the S's, but it seems none of them want to do that. And, you know, the alternate Nanum has happened, and there was a big old contact there between both of those drivers. And, you know, very commiserations to Team Iris with the double DNF in race 2 of the Suzuka evening. And the Saracino still, you know, far behind Micah, maybe making a move sooner or later, maybe setting up his thing. Oh, there's Rozak trying to make a move around Andrzejewski, making the most of those hard tyres. Well, Andrzejewski's trying to save his soft tyres for the end of the race. It seems to be a big long train going on with Andrzejewski, just keeping them behind as much as he can. And there is Oliver Taras just behind him as well. It's going to be very, very close for the final laps of this race. It seems as we go now into the S for both drivers, so no, I don't think any of them are going to risk that. As we see them just, you know, being very cooped up together, and Rozak still very comfortably behind him, as followed by Taras, Micah, Saracino, and the Tutis. As we go into the fast left-hander, fast right-hander, and then into the steep turn 9, as we got to be very hard on the brakes there, into the fast turn 10 little right-hander here, into the steep hairpin. He's closed the gap just a bit there. He just needs a really good exit, but it seems he's going to be playing the waiting game maybe until the final chicane.
Right, you are, yeah. Pavel has to think about what Patrick's going to do. And there we go, neck and neck. It's Frank Hamming who wants to make his own gain here against the Tutis. Not successful this time, but yeah, definitely he's picking an unusual overtaking spot himself here. Yeah, we know Frank Hamming is a race 2 marvel. He's really, really good at them. Side by side in 130 or
side by side,
gosh,
yep.
don't push too hard. They both slide into the runoff. And Frank Hamming will say, I had track position there. That could be a debate. He used the runoff just to ensure. There we go, Latina dominantly winning and all the action there. But Pavel Andrzejewski holds on to P2 ahead of Patrick Rosjak. Therefore, Andrzejewski stays championship leader. Taras, fabulous job there. Apex, their turn to shine with their first FS1 victory after promotion from FS2. And Matthews Micah completes the top 5.
Yeah, very, very clean driver there by Latinen. I think it was first place throughout the entire race, which was really impressive on him. So good on him. Sven de Vries, as we can see, finishing P17 and overtaking everyone else. And but yeah, well played to the Apex drivers in race 2. I think they're going to have a big pat on the back. Having P1 and P4, and amazingly well done to Andrzejewski and Taras, managing those soft tires throughout the entire race. I gotta say, that's pretty impressive. Being on those tires for the whole entire of the sprint race, and here we are, the top 10. Yep, and it's all been confirmed.
It's provisional, of course. We'll make absolutely sure this is all fine and proper. But Suzuka brings joy to Jesse Latinen for Finland and Apex Grand Prix. Congratulations, a magnificent drive, his first win of any kind for I think 50 weeks. He's been waiting this long, about 50 weeks to win again. And he used every minute of his reverse grid pole to full use, so congratulations again. Pavel Andrzejewski, solid job, not quite able to perform a double podium result this time around, but yeah, definitely he'll be pleased to be still on top of the championship. Patrick Rosjak, I think, just deserves for him to be one of the best drivers all day long, and he gets his podium to solidify that. Oliver Taras, again, absolutely magnificent, so Apex can be absolutely thrilled with their performance. So Taras, another fine driver, definitely top 5 power play for him, well done. Matthews Micah, P5, that's actually a very good result, I think, knowing he was down behind Team Shiba for quite some time, so you'll definitely take that. Not the end of the world for the championship at all. Giuseppe Saracino, he should comfortably a third in the championship at this stage, holding on to it, pulling clear Frank Hamming, so a great result for him. And speaking of Hamming, there he is in P7, so more sublime driving for him, working hard from his outcome in race 1, not quite what he would have wanted, but yeah, definitely good points. Race 1 winner, the Tutis, now P8, so I think he'll still be very, very proud of his performance. Scott Flack again, great for him in 9th, and Lucas Murnau gets big slide points on his cameo in P10. And then highest climber, Vin Glenn, that's 11th place for him. Congratulations. And yeah, the numbers banter, it's back on. Owen Phil Hauswick has points for 100 to 1, so it didn't take nearly as long in 2025 as it did in 24. That's superb news for 100 to 1. They're back ready to fight hard with 0-1, so they should be, I think, tied for points there, 4 each in the numbers battle. Kasper Michalak, he's well and truly up and running now with P13 to back up his scoring in race 1. We have Tomas Smith there helping overpower to a double points finish. Now points for everybody. MS Performance are now with the championship point with Wesley Stefano in P15. Menno Klontz not quite able to repeat his form in race 1 as he could do with just 16th there, missing out on points. LEF Auto Race, I'm sure their courage will be praised with a double DNF turned into a double top 20 with Sven de Vries able to get some racing laps in 17th. Philip Koenig there in 18th. Alex Gonzalez Green for P19. Raymond Van Sust in 20th. And now, unfortunately, this entire column is retirements based, Alex, with Carl Magnus Bore. He made a do or die move, and I'm afraid the S's were merciless against him, so he retired. we had the carnage there for Zubinski. In fairness, he spun around a few times and had to park it. Didn't feel he could go any further. Marcus Christensen, similarly, couldn't go any further. Definitely these drivers towards the bottom all involved in some sort of accidents. Juho Soppinen, Matthews Kozowski, Stephen Lexo. They had the contact there, of course, at Dunlop Curve. Kozowski nowhere else to go. Tom Lafont, Massimiliano Raboli, and Tun Lower not able to finish. Out by a long way, unfortunately. Didn't get very many laps done, but that's the way it goes on motor racing, Alex.
Yes, cracking race overall. Commiserations to all the drivers as on our screens who unfortunately DNF'd. Wrong, we saw the replays and it was, some drivers still just there, and some were spinning, and unfortunately for some others they were just there at the wrong time and just went into them, and whilst everyone else was just a passenger. But overall, a great race. A huge congratulations to Apex Grand Prix with a big impressive points haul in race 2, and Latinen winning the sprint race. And yep, that's that. And an impressive cameo from Murno in race 1 and race 2. A impressive comeback, especially in race 1, an impressive finish in race 2 with some, I think, getting a couple of possessions there. And I really can't wait to see what the next race will have in store for us.
Sure, yeah. So the final race in Austria, after a brief foray into the European-Asian border there in Istanbul, we're back out east in Japan, and now we're heading to Saudi Arabia in 2 weeks' time. I'm afraid I won't be able to make that one, Alex. I'll be away with family on that day, so I'll have to hand over the reins to yourself and a replacement commentator. But I'll certainly keep an eye out for that result on 17th of April before the European leg begins. Briefly with the Spanish Grand Prix, and then we go to North America in May/June before we really get cracking in Europe after the summer break, or the spring break, I should say.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. The Jeddah circuit is a very nice street circuit. I think next in the next round, all the drivers got to be very, very careful. As one former F1 driver would say, you got to be very careful and cautious on a street circuit. And I feel this is going to be very interesting. I don't think I've seen any racing on GPVWC yet, from my perspective. So this is all going to be a first for me, seeing the Jeddah circuit and all the amazing cars that we have here as well. And as the rest of the calendar, we head to Europe, to Spain on the 1st of May. I really can't wait for that. Being from myself being there in real life and now seeing it virtually, commentating it in the 1st of May, is going to be absolutely cracking stuff. And mostly excited for personally my home country, the British Grand Prix. Really looking forward to being back home, home away from home, as well as all the other European locations that we have in store in later stages. Yes,
indeed. So the interview section, we might give another minute just if anyone wants to come in. But the Juho Soppinen has volunteered first, so we will speak to the 01 Esports competitor. Not many highlights for him, unfortunately. Didn't get, he was 25th in qualifying. Of course, I think he gained a few places with qualifying. Yeah, there we go. Pavel has popped in. So definitely by position, I suppose we need to talk to our championship leader ahead of Juho. So Juho, and there's Domenico as well. So let's have a word. Yeah, now they're all filling in. So yeah, definitely. There's the Multiforce drivers. So it would make sense to have them in as a pair. So Lorenzo as well. Lots of names coming forward now. Well, let's hear from the Multiforce Joe first. Welcome in, Pavel and Matthews. Can you hear us?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, hello everyone.
Excellent stuff. So your winning streak has been halted, I'm afraid. You've been beaten on both occasions, but the championship for that brief moment, Matthews, I'll start with you. You had it tied. I was very impressed with your undercut attempt in race 1. How did you sense that was actually the right call?
Yeah, we were speaking about it even before the quali results, that undercut will be very important. And after the P3 and P4 in quali, we know that we have to do that. I was thinking even about pit on lap 8, but I think it will not give us more, maybe for Pavel. Because he will pit one lap early. The race was very, very interesting. A lot of for fight for P1, and after a couple of overtaking, I decided to just step back and drive on that P2 because it was getting hotter and hotter.
Absolutely, yeah. So we were absolutely thrilled off our seats with the battle for victory. Alas, it didn't quite go your way, as Lorenzo in the chicane was able to just about build up a final attack that was good enough. But with your P2, you were able to be tied for the championship lead. So yeah, that must have been a nice feeling.
Yeah, it's not also that I just went back because Team Shiba was very strong this round, especially in first race. Saracino also almost catch me. It was hot, but yeah, P2 in race 1 was very good result. I'm happy with that.
Pavel, over to you. You're back on top after finishing second behind Yassi in race 2. So yeah, you haven't lost your overall lead, but I suppose, was there anything you could have done to stop Yassi from winning today, or was it just get the points and move on?
Basically, I think that our speed deficit on straights was the biggest factor today, because maybe I had one or two opportunities to overtake him, especially on the opening lap, and he did some mistake out of the hairpin on in the middle of the race, but in the end, yeah, he got so much faster than me on the straight. So even if I was using push to pass quite heavily, it didn't matter. He was just zooming past me, and this car was just getting smaller and smaller in my screen. So congratulations to him. Finally, he got up to the top. It's very nice to see new winners, but I think that the MVP of today should be the Team Shiba. That's what they have done today is truly remarkable. They got really high in the first race. But yeah, from my side, I think I'm a bit gutted. I feel also shameful of myself, what I've done to Patrick in race 1. I have never had such lockup in this place, so it caught me really off guard at this moment, and yeah, I'm very felt very bad about it, and this feeling has also brought me to race 2. I tried to wipe it out, but yeah, it's very shameful from me to do such things on him.
My reaction, it just happened on the edge of the screen, like we were watching the lead battle, and then you just came in. So obviously it could have been interpreted as a dive bomb, but obviously the replays cleared up everything, and I just said it's definitely not a penalty, but justice is done because Patrick was ahead on position. So yeah, there was no benefit to you after the mistake, but yeah, it definitely happens. And I'm glad you were able to finish the race after that, and neither driver was overly affected. So yeah, I suppose, yeah, just we can definitely apologize, and hopefully all will be sorted. I'll pass the mic over to Alex. Do you have any questions?
I have just one question for you guys. A question for both of you, if you both like to answer it, of course. So race 1 and race 2. Before I ask my question, strong racing, by the way, guys. You did really well. But on to my main question. Do you think you guys feel a bit any under pressure by Team Shiba for the rest of the season, or do you think this race will be just, you're gonna leave it by the back of your head and just move on for the rest of the season and hoping to get back-to-back constructors championships?
Well, I think that currently they are the closest to be fighting with us constantly. Giuseppe was showing some really good pace from the race 1. Now Lorenzo has caught up to him, and they are together giving some really good performances. To be honest, I still feel that I'm still learning this car. It looks like others do the same. Of course, they have to catch up to us, so their learning curve is quite steeper than us. But in the end, what matters are the results on the finish line, and this is what we'll be focusing on in upcoming races.
Great stuff. Do you have anything to add for that same question, Matthews?
I think Pavel says everything. Nothing to add.
I am the spokesperson for Mateusz in such questions.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I think that's all I have for now. It's kind of the big elephant in the room after race 1. But yeah, thank you for answering.
Thank you very much.
You
Have a good night.
You too. So long.
Thank you.
And let's have a chat with Domenico Scarpelli, a Victorious team manager. Hi, Domenico. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hey, you must be absolutely thrilled that Yassi Latinen was a race 1 or race 2 winner, I should say. And of course, Oliver Taras backed him up superbly. So tell us how it feels to be a team manager that has led a team to victory.
I'm really happy after this result. We've had a lot of luck in the first rounds of the season, but looks like we are starting to get some of it back. But no, really, today it was really great performance by both of the drivers. Both Holly, who pushed a bit the qualifying session because invalidated his final lap when he was improving by like 4/10, so it could have been up there close to Yasse, but all of the top 7 because we've seen a really close qualifying. But he managed to do an incredible overcut in race 1. And after that, he just bring it home. Just had to do that. We were hoping for a P8 reverse pole, but instead we got the P6 one. But it's still a very great performance by both of them. About Yasse race 2, I have nothing to say. Just managed that completely. I had to help him a bit with the push to pass because we noticed some interesting tactic by Pavel about that. But for the rest, it was a really, really great race, really great pace, and it was really calm.
For sure, yeah, and definitely. I know Shiba have really earned a lot of plaudits via the fact that Apex there, you're undisputed 3rd place now, gaining strong points over HGP and Nexium, with double points, I think, in race. Yeah, of course, race 1, yeah, you would have been in double points. So, is this a track I know last year you were very good at with Yassi? Was it a target when you were looking at the calendar originally?
I mean, well, yeah. We've seen actually already last year, not for the FS2. We don't talk what happened last year with Apex and FS2, but already in the emergency race that Oli did last year, we have seen a lot of potential already in this race. So I was really happy when we've seen the track on the calendar for another season. Next up is Jed, of course. Last year for Jed it went really great for us. We set like the record for the most points scored in FS2 in a single weekend.
Wow.
And hopefully we can try something like that again. Who knows? We'll see for sure. But the drivers are really motivated now, so we'll definitely push into Jeddah.
Yeah, of course. Alex, any questions for Domenico?
Well, I think the Jeddah question has already been answered. But do you think, after Jeddah, if after this very well, nicely done. Race 2. Do you think this motivation will not just carry on Jeddah, but would it carry on for the rest of the season? Maybe, they have, a true potential to, maybe get some more crucial points, maybe more crucial podiums. But how do you feel overall with the team and the rest of the season?
I mean, I think we can carry this motivation through the whole season because we know what's right and what's wrong, where we can improve and where we have improved already this round. And I'm pretty sure we can definitely score more podiums, more wins, hopefully. And even if it looks like a great miracle, but go for a title charge. Like, we know it's still round 3, but Malta Force already has been proving to be really strong. So we'll see if we can still aim for that. But at the moment, we are in a good position in the constructors, still in the top 3. So really great result. So we'll see what we can do through the whole season.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I think that's all I have to say so far. I usually have one question for these things, so.
Yeah, I'm all out of questions, Dominico. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. Well done again to Yassi and Oliver. So
Thank
impressive.
you. Goodbye, guys.
Bye. Lorenzo de Cutis has appeared in our interview waiting room, so it only feels fair to have a chat with him as well. So let's bring in Lorenzo de Cutis. And yeah, you've jumped the queue, Lorenzo, but you've earned the right after a pole position on a race 1 victory. Very, very big congratulations. How do you feel?
I feel ecstatic. Thank you, guys. Thank you a lot. Wow, what a race, what a qualifying, what everything, what a weekend. Wow. In the beginning, me and Giuseppe struggled a lot to understand the car. So Melbourne and Istanbul, we were trying different things, but in the end, nothing really could bring us up there. Especially me, I always struggles with the car, and I don't know why. And today and this week, preparing for the race of Suzuka, we tried changing, went in a different direction, let's say, with the setup, and seems like it worked. Yeah, and also, wow, what a race with Mateusz. I hope I pronounce its name correctly.
Yeah, it sounds good to me, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like first stint was a little bit of trying to make the soft tires last, and when I went into the pit and I saw Mateusz behind me, I was like, where? Wait, what? And he overtook me because I'm still adapting to using the push to pass in an effective way. And then we started. I think it's one of the best of battles I ever did in my whole sim racing career. And yeah, and when I overtook him, I was like, run away now. And yeah, I was hoping to get a 1-2 with Giuseppe, but he couldn't manage to overtake him. And yeah, 1-3 for the team. It's very good, especially now in the start of the season. I hope next races will be like this one, at least for race 1. Race 2 could have been better, but yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that if you don't mind, think about your qualifying lap again, because you weren't purple. Like, it's very rare to have no purple sectors, and yet completing a perfect sort of aggregate lap to get a pole position. So how on earth did you pull that one off?
Yeah, I don't know, because when I started the simulator, I was like, I made it just in time to make to the qualifications, and yeah, when I saw that the first sector, I was like, I was gaining on I think it's Andrzejewski on pole at that moment. I was like, oh, we got something here. And yeah, second sector, like I did the best second sector I could have ever done, even though I went sideways into the swing, into the spoon curve, and then when I saw I was close with him, passing the second sector line, I was like, let's do or dive the chicane, and luckily for me it worked, and what an amazing lap. I was just rewatching it right now. I was like, wow, did I really manage it to pull that off?
And then just the fact that you departed, I think, the GPV ladder in 2020. So just as I started doing sort of social media work for the league, you were on your way out of the series after a couple of months. But what is the Lorenzo of 2025? What have you learned in your time away, and what has made you the driver you are today?
Yeah, I mean, it changed a lot. It changed the hardware, and also I think which really worked for me. I started training, not arriving at the day of the race, so like 2 days before, and start practicing. And I think what really changed for me is the mentality to go into a race, like, you know, doing lap practice, having a teammate that supports you. All the team Shibo support us, me and Giuseppe, to push forward. And yeah, but basically talking, for me, it's a lot has been done mentally to push me to improve myself, to gain that last stance. And yeah, in 2020, I must admit, I was like a little bit of I don't want to, not I don't want to, I don't find the right word for it, but I wasn't really committed to something like I am now. Like before, it was like I was really having fun to turn laps, racing with the other guys, but I wasn't really in the right mentality to compete, to push for first positions, which I am now. And I think that is the main switch I did, passing this the last time I raced here and going into this season. Also I want to admit is that I was uncertain if participating, because I did fear that I might not behave correctly. I might cause crashes and stuff, and I was worried about not making a good impression on the other guys. And yeah, so that's why I decided to, if I need to race, I want to race for the wins. I want to race to stay in the points, to have fun, but also to perform. And yeah, that's the mentality I went into the season. I hope to keep it like this. I know I don't want to put to walk too far ahead of me, but I don't know, maybe this is the race opens up chances to fight for the title. But I mean, it's too early to say it, and Mateusz has a lot of pace. He's a very fast guy, and yeah, I will try to race and try to fight for the title basically, but I don't want to look too far ahead of me. As I said before, I want to keep it for the moment, race by race, and seeing like 4 or 5 races where we are, and then I decide to I don't know, not to switch mentality, but maybe put much more effort. I mean, right now I put a lot of effort, but I still want to enjoy, not want to push and get frustrated to find that last sense of a second on the car.
Yeah, indeed, that's very interesting. Yeah, definitely. Team Shiba have announced themselves as one of the contenders for honors this season, and it's really exciting because it was hard to predict. Because I personally called Malta Force as the big favourites, but yeah, definitely Team Shiba proven to be an outstanding newcomer, and I'm delighted to see it. So well done, Lorenzo and Alex. How about you? Do you have any questions for Lorenzo?
I think what you said, what you said, Lorenzo, it's kind of answered all the questions that I had in my head. So I don't really have any questions for you, unfortunately. But I just want to say congrats on the big win, and have a nice easy night, and I can't wait to see you Saracino and well, the whole team in 2 weeks' time for Saudi Arabia, and keep up the good pace, keep up the good work, and we'll see you then.
We will try, guys. Thank you a lot. Thank you a lot also for us in this league, taking the time to work on the mod, to not take something that it's already out there, but try to do something your way, and providing to everyone basically. Thank you, guys. Thank you a lot.
You're very welcome, Lorenzo. Congratulations again.
Thanks, guys.
I believe Zeeuw Sopnin has been waiting his turn the longest, so I do want to speak to him, but hopefully he hasn't gone beer out like that, so just give him another few seconds and I'll drag him in. Okay, let's see if he's available. Hi Zeeuw, can you hear us?
Hello.
Yes. Stuff. Hello. Thank you so much for waiting, first of all. You've been there the longest, so yeah, appreciate your waiting.
Don't worry, I had time to eat a burger at least.
Fed, yeah, good idea. Well, I suppose, story of your day, qualifying, you're outside the top 20, and I don't think you were really in shout for many points. So is there anything positive that we may have missed that you'd like to tell us about?
Well, only positive is that I made up places after the crash with Smith. I mean, the thing is, what happened also in the backfield, it was terrifying. I mean, I had to pit for new tires and also fix the flow damage as well, because I felt like my car was starting to spin everywhere. And yeah, race 1 was okay. At least I finished. Race 2, my wrist was starting to hurt more, and then when I went into the straight before Spoon, I lost concentration and I spun. But it was a bit of a dumb mistake. I might have focused more on the wrist than the race. So yeah. Story of the race.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I suppose this will be a bit similar to Turkey. It's not a great day for 0-1, I'm afraid, but knowing this is a very popular track, I'm sure everyone was looking forward to it. But do you suppose, is there any lessons you could take out of it for next time, just to make sure things can go better and you'll be back on the scoreboard soon?
My only lesson is that never drink water when you're going to a straight and you see a sudden little turn. But yeah, also my lesson here is to not force my body too much. I mean, let's just say that I had a bit of a tennis incident. I actually had a bit of I did a bit of motocrossing, so that makes me look like Juan Pablo Montoya back then.
Alright.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be okay soon. Yeah, so another point is 100-1 have scored their first points, so I believe it's a 4-4 draw in the championship against Eoin Hausvik and Marcus Christensen, so all the momentum or all the motivation you need to pick yourselves up for next time, yourself and Tom.
Well, yeah, for me this is gonna be a big motivation for me to try to score points and work as hard as possible. I'm going for those points, but I'm not gonna start a war between 100-1 at least.
Maybe friendly rivalry.
Yeah, just friendly rivalry. I mean, Eoin is a really great driver. Also, I want to congratulate him also for the points, and also I want to congratulate Lorenzo. the duties. I honestly think that he could fight for the championship. But I also, as I'm gonna take words from him also, I don't want to also think about it too early, since he's a really great driver. He got his first win, and I feel like this was his track. I know that he will score more points and also more wins in the race, more wins in the future, for sure.
Very good. Alex, any questions for Juho?
You know, nice to see your team finally got points this weekend. Well, your teammate with getting points. It's good that you know a nice on the good side. You did finish the longest, most difficult race, which is race 1. You know, and it's great. Do you feel lucky in Saudi Arabia next round, or do you think it'll be a bit of a challenge with it being a street circuit and all?
Well, I have to think about it, because it's kind of like a Mario Kart track.
Oh yeah.
Just hopefully nobody throws banana peels.
Oh yeah, I see where you mean. I mean, there were comments on it when it was first revealed. It looks just like a Mario track. I mean, there is a new Mario game coming out, but away from that topic. But yeah, I wish you good luck in the next round, round 4, if that is. Yep. And yeah, I hope you drive well.
Yeah, I want to thank also my team for supporting me. Also, I want to thank Video for supporting me. Also everybody that has also raced here. I really want to also say that these races were actually challenging, but I'm starting to get the hang of the car, and I'm starting to look forward to Jeddah to try to score some points and try to be faster than the last rounds. I want to prove myself that I can do it. I mean, this one I just had a lot of difficulties with also my injury, and also a bit of concentration problems.
Well, I suppose the injuries will heal eventually. So rest up well, Juho, and hope to see you again soon. Okay.
Yep, I'll go get some ice cream now. See you.
Great idea. So
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye now. We're just pushing into 2 hours 50 now, but yeah, I'm sure there's a bit of time left. We'll just try and squeeze in 2 more interviews for our remaining waiting drivers, and team managers, of course. So we'll get Lorenzo Tervich-Funcic in. I know he was very upset with how race 1 went for LEF Auto Racing, but I'm sure race 2 a little bit better. So I'll bring in Lorenzo now for a chat. So from one Lorenzo, we have another. It's Lorenzo Tervich-Funcic. So I suppose we'll have to begin with the bad news, Lorenzo, first and foremost. Race 1, you were absolutely crestfallen with your 2 drivers crashing out. So can you tell us what happened?
Well, what happened was really just bad luck. Sven's accident, I know that both accidents were not shown on stream. I had it up on
We missed
my phone, but Sven's accident tried to go around the outside of Raymond van Soest, who was going to be pitting that lap, as if I'm correct. I mean, judging by his pace, we were expecting him to pit because we assumed his tires fell off. So Sven was going to try and go around his outside. Now, I didn't check the clip as good as I probably should have, so I don't know if he turned in too aggressively or if Raymond just didn't expect Sven to go for it and was gonna take a shallower line, but in the end there was contact and Sven ended up on the tire barrier. And then what happened with Alexander was also in 130R, he was behind, I think, Philip Koenig, and he caught some dirty air and lost control as Koenig swept almost right in front of him to take the turn. I mean, I'm not saying Philip is at blame there. Alexander was not that close enough to make the move, but Philip moving over to take the turn put Alexander in that tiny bit of dirty air, which unsettled him and sent him into the gravel as well, and that was race 1 over for both of the cars.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah, it was difficult to climb up the grid, certainly from the bottom third in qualifying. But yeah, race 2, I suppose you had the chance to rally the troops all over again, and it seemed to have paid off as both your drivers got to the end. And I know Sven especially really wanted to get some racing laps underneath him after 2 weeks ago. So how did you feel about race 2? Were you able to make some good signs of progress with the fight back from both drivers?
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily signs of progress. I think that the team's race pace, Alex and Sven, I think their race pace is very, very good, and they've shown it on track as well when they haven't had the misfortune of being involved in accidents. Sven showed it today. He went from 28th to 17th, and Alexander as well went from 25th, I think, to 18th. Although he had a bit of a moment on the last lap, so that was down to 19th. But either way, I think our race pace is good. There's definitely room for improvement, of course, but I think our race pace is definitely better than our qualifying pace. And our qualifying pace is where we need to strive to be better, because both at Istanbul and at and at Suzuka today, qualifying really set us back because we will qualify below 20th, so we would have to make our way up the grid instead of being around in the midfield, where realistically upper midfield or just like midfield is where I think we should be and where we can be, but we're just not working enough on our qualifying pace, I think, and I think that's something we need to look forward on improving in the coming rounds, especially Jeddah. Jeddah's a very tight track. It's a track you need to get as perfect as possible. Very hard braking zones, a lot of S's, a lot of tight corners, so yeah, it's going to be very crucial qualifying there, of course, as well as it's a street circuit. But overall, qualifying is something, as I said already, we need to work better on. And I think Alex and Sven know that themselves as well, they've said it. And I'm sure they'll try and get as much time as they can, aside from their work commitments, to try and get more practice in, try and get the results that we know that we can achieve.
Very good. Alex, do you have any questions for Lorenzo?
Lorenzo, very unfortunate on race 1, by the way. And of course we had your thoughts on what happened there. But race 2, a very nice high improvement. Do you think, you shared your thoughts a bit on Jeddah already? Do you have high hopes with both the drivers? Maybe getting some crucial points in either race 1 or race 2, or do you think it could be another difficult one like Suzuka?
I think that if we work as hard as we have shown the intent to after this round, then I think that we can finally achieve those double points that we've been dreaming of for the past 3 rounds. We were close today, race 2. I'd say that we were fairly close today on getting double points. Sven and Alex were P17 and 18 for most of the race. So yeah, I don't know. I think we could have gotten double points, but I think we went too safe with our setup. I think we had wings too high, because I know that Sven at some point in the last part of race 2 said that Wesley Stefano would just peel away from him on the straightaways, and in-game race engineer checked his on board, and he just wasn't using any push to pass. So it was either the slipstream from the car in front, or it was just the lower wings where I think we messed up on setup as well. But I don't know. I don't really know what to say. I think that we can and we will get better results in Jeddah. I've said it before, that I've said it after every round really, that next round we're gonna get better results, and round after round we get unluckier and unluckier. I hope that streak breaks finally at Jeddah, because as I said already, it's a tight track, twisty, hard-braking zones. You never know what can happen there. You could have the front runners just get crashed out or something. It's a bit of a lottery, I would say, the track, because you have to be as perfect as possible while also keeping drivers behind you at bay and trying to gain positions. So all of this talk just to say that I don't want to expect anything from Jeddah, but that we will just work towards being the best versions of ourselves.
Thank you very much for answering. That's all the questions I have. I usually have one question.
Yeah, appreciate that one, Alex. And Lorenzo, we'll let you go, but better luck next time, and see you again soon, hopefully.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. We'll just about get time for Eoin Kulhausvik. I know probably hitting the 3-hour mark is not ideal, but yeah, we just have to give Eoin a chance, because it is a great day for 100 to 1. So let's hear from Eoin. Hi, Eoin, can you hear us?
Yo, what's up? Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, you're buzzing. It is 100 to 1 off the mark within 28 days this season. Much, much better. How does it feel?
Yes, sir. It feels great, man. But honestly, they should be where we are. All right, they should be what we expect, except for just being there sometimes. Like every race, I felt like I should be in the points, and finally we just got one. At least one of the races, actually. When we got a result, or I got a result. You know, I should have been in. I was fighting for P15 as well for race 1, but obviously that didn't end well. But I'm just happy I came away with some points this time.
As you should be, especially because Griffon and MS Performance have scored points as well, meaning all 15 points, or all 15 teams have at least a point. So it is ever crucial that you got yourself into P12 after all. So,
Yeah.
Very, very important. That means you are tied 4-4 with 0-1. So yeah, really, really important to get that tiebreaker, I think, as a result of that. Yeah, 4-4, not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. I'm like fighting teams and people. It's amazing in championship. I haven't really done that before in this, really. So yeah, it's fun. It's exciting. Yeah, we were 100 to 1. We're on the way up. Me in the standings and Marcus physically. I think he flew, I believe.
Yes, he lost his rear wing and he went 300 kilometers an hour into 130R. I think you can decipher what happened next.
Yep, that's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely insane. But yeah, hopefully he'll be okay, because the shock on the wheel would definitely be violent for that one, like sent flying.
He's okay though. I'll agree with him.
Okay, yeah.
He's alive.
Yeah. I suppose, yeah, how did you feel qualifying? Because that was probably a case where you were really fighting hard on race pace, but did you feel anything positive or negative about qualifying?
I mean, qualifying, I honestly, I almost don't practice qualifying. I just end up like P20-ish, and somehow the races go a lot better. Or like race pace and getting positions and all that. I just focus mostly on the races, on the race pace, and you know that's what I enjoy the most as well. when it comes to practicing. But honestly, practicing for this race, I'm a bit surprised I was at this pace because I haven't had the opportunity really to practice much except for today. I only did like 8 laps or whatever, and like on like Monday, or due to like tests and such and school. So, but yeah, we came home with points, and super happy with that. I mean, I should be getting better at qualifying at one point. I feel like, but you know, let's see. I think I'll just continue with what I'm doing. Kind of working.
Yeah, Alex, how about you? Do you have any questions for Eoin?
But yeah, Eoin, congrats on getting the points in race 2. And you know, from a question earlier, I can see you're very happy with that. And you know, very crucial for the team. My question is, just like some others that I've said earlier, do you think you can continue getting points for the rest of the season? Do you think maybe you might get lucky in Saudi Arabia in the next round?
I definitely feel like we should be getting points, and that's like what I'm gonna expect for myself moving forward, and just consistently being in that fight in the top 15. Like I've been good enough for like P13 in race once, but in like Turkey, but you know, the pit incident happened, and yeah, I'm just gonna. This season looks like I have to just expect this of myself, to just get points every race day, and as well, you know, just work with Marcus, getting him better. He's really looking forward to next race, and that's just great for me to hear that there's a lot of positivity from him to just like improve. He's looking at every race like a test session almost, and just picking bits and things from to like learn. And that's like exactly what I did last year in this team, in this car, just trying to figure out how this championship and the car and the tires work. And you know, he was actually doing he was in the pack a little bit as well, and there's some of these races until he had some incidents. But you know, I can work really well with him. We're from the same country, we're from the same island. I see him every week. We got the same diagnosis. We got the same setup almost. I know this guy is like a brother to me. So
Yeah.
this season is gonna be great.
Yeah, thank you for answering, by the way, and again, congrats on getting those crucial points in race 2.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Eoin. We'll let you go. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. See ya.
So long. For over 3 hours, 5 minutes, Alex. But yeah, very impressive job from yourself in commentary, and indeed Remco for broadcast direction. But yeah, definitely the music, I'm sure that'll be talked about for a while. The turn off the music, and no, I like the music. Definitely a bit of an odd choice in the chat, but yeah, we'll definitely have a bit of a laugh about that. But yeah, well done to Remco today for broadcasting, and the replay is absolutely superb. So Alex, yeah, just before we sign off for the day, what did you think about the action today?
I'd say honestly, coming to think of it, overall, that was one of the best races I ever seen in my past commentating. I've rarely done commentating in R Factor 2 until now. I did other commentating stuff on other platforms like the Formula 1 series, and I did a bit of a unofficial meme version for an FSR IndyCar series that went pretty well. But this has been the best that I've seen, and I really can't wait to see more amazing racing in Jeddah in 2 weeks' time. Unfortunately, you know, it won't be the same without you next round. I'm guessing it was a bit weird without me last round at Turkey, but
yeah, I suppose we're just forming a bit of a partnership, and then it has to be broken
taking turns here.
So yeah, I mean, you're
taking turns,
of course. So yeah,
taking turns on our breaks.
Yeah. So yeah, I suppose on that note, yeah, I've had an absolutely fantastic time again. It's just such good racing at the front, and then lots of drama everywhere else. So yeah, we were not bored for a moment. So hope you felt the same way. But alas, I will see you next month for Spain. But yeah, don't forget, it is just a straight 2-week break. We'll be back in Saudi Arabia later in the month, just about Easter time if you celebrate Easter. It should be that kind of week. So yeah, April 17th is where you want to be in 2 weeks' time. But whoever can take my place, I'm looking forward to hearing how it all goes. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been a marathon of an evening, but it's been a very, very special occasion as well. Whether you're Team Shiba or Apex GP fans or representatives, definitely it's brilliant to see them winning for the first time. And yeah, we'll see how that form carries on in the coming days and weeks. But yeah, don't forget for Super Lights and Super Leagues next week as well. They're back. So until next time, thanks so much for tuning in. Bye for now.